Ah, Mr. Hackstrom. I didn't expect you until tomorrow.
How's it coming, Pablo?
Huh. See for yourself.
Looks okay.
I show you a masterpiece and you say, okay, you have a soul of a goat. Here.
Just as long as you can't tell the difference between this and the real thing.
There is no difference to the naked eye. Of course, when you check the serial numbers.
Pablo.
Yeah?
Let us worry about that.
Okay.
All right, Central, I appreciate that information. Yeah, you've been a big help. 10-4.
The night watchman found him, Commissioner, around 6 o'clock this morning. Medical examiner figures he's been dead maybe 2-3 days. Pablo Javier and I go back some 10 years when I nailed him for printing up no-good mutual tickets.
What's the connection? You two didn't bring me down here to look at a small-time forger.
No, sir, but do you remember the murder of Ito Mirabushi last December, sir?
Remember, I thought the Emperor was going to come down himself and take over the case personally.
Well, sir, we just got a ballistics match on the...
Already? That was fast.
Yes, sir. And the same gun that killed Mirabushi also killed our friend Pablo here.
Well, I thought Mirabushi's death was a simple mugging. What about...
Well, you can leave out robbery in this case, sir. Pablo still had his wallet on him, and it contained almost $300.
Real money?
Pablo never printed greenbacks, sir. Not that he couldn't do it, but he never liked fooling with the feds.
Uh-huh. Well, I admire your speed on the ballistics match, but I can't believe that you got his fingerprints already.
We didn't, sir.
Well, there's ink on his hand. Maybe he was working on something at the time he was killed. If we can find out what that was, maybe we can find out why Mirabushi was killed, and or who killed him.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Morning, Dave.
Anything for the rumor, sir?
Of course.
You want to tell me about it?
What rumor?
The chain. The human chain. The pollution freaks are going to line up across the Bay Bridge and at 5 o'clock.
Oh, that's news to me.
What are you planning to do about it?
Well, we'll send in some units.
Commissioner.
What is it?
Commissioner.
But if it's a peaceful assembly.
Commissioner, I have to tell you something.
Is that all?
No, there's more.
But you just can't arrest people for demonstration.
Arrest? Are you kidding? A handful of kids against thousands of hot, sweaty commuters? We'll just try to prevent a massacre.
Commissioner, Mrs. McMillan is waiting in your office.
Oh, thank you. You know, you really ought to do something about that cold.
I am. I'm sneezing.
You got all that? Hi, Sally.
Stuart.
Mother.
Oh, you're looking wonderful, Stuart, considering your age. And you've grown, too, haven't you? Either that or I've shrunk.
Oh, Mother, I'm sure you haven't.
You never can tell. I met this adorable plantation owner in Caracas. Bananas, I think it was, or was it coffee beans?
Mother.
Carlos, a dear man, but I towered over him. He was a little in love with me, but I never really could think of him in that way. And then one night, the drums began beating in the jungle, voodoo drums. And the next day, there was Carlos looking down on me.
Mother.
Now, maybe he stuffed paper in his shoes, but if you ask me, those drums were aimed at me.
Mother, forget about the drums. Now, why haven't you called or written?
But I did, last week.
Now?
No. Last week, I was in Marseille. They had that terrible problem with the telephone company. Look at this. Mac, you've done so well. But I intended to write, and that's practically the same thing.
Practically.
Now, don't keep me in suspense any longer. How is the baby?
Oh, he's wonderful.
Boy or girl?
Mother, I just told you.
I can't wait to see him. And his mother, too. Of course.
Yes, of course.
Now, don't be critical. After all, I am your mother, and the least you could do is to pretend to be glad to see me.
But I am.
You and Sally never write.
We never know where you are.
Well, I'm right here.
And that's wonderful.
Well, of course it is, because I'm a wonderful mother. Now, you needn't worry that I'm here to stay. This is a very short visit.
Oh, no. This time we're going to spend some time together.
Oh, Stuart, I have to tell you about your sister.
Megan? What is it?
I don't quite know how to tell you, but Megan is getting married.
Married? What? Well, I mean, she's only a child, yes.
It's my first reaction, but Stuart, really, she's 27 and well past time. She had a life of her own. Traipsing around the continents with an old woman may be all right when you're 16, but enough is enough. Anyway, Randy is just a darling boy. I know you're going to love him.
Wait a minute now. You mean Megan and this boy are here in town?
Yes, of course. McMillans have been getting married in San Francisco since the days of the gold rush. These two are not going to be any different.
But who is he? I mean, what do we know about him?
Well, they met in the Virgin Islands about 5 months ago. His name is Randy Newmark, and he comes from one of the finest families in Rochester, New York. He's just terribly bright. He's a fine mind for business. I just know he's going to be a millionaire before he's 40.
And I just knew that if there was anybody smart enough to jump at a chance like this, it'd be you folks here at Tamco.
Newmark, Trans-Alaska mining success speaks for itself. Now, just what is it you're proposing?
Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Kovacs, like it shows here on the map, you've got about 200,000 acres of abandoned gold mines and silver. And you know, sir, with the price of gold and silver going up the way it is, it certainly does pay to go back in there and start digging.
Now, you didn't come in here to explain to me how we run our operations, did you?
No, sir, I did not. I came here to talk to you about people. Yes, sir, people. The backbone of a company. But, sir, in order to keep them productive, you got to keep them happy. Now, I know you're going to have about 1,000 employees up there by the end of the year. And that's why I figured, well, sir, you just got to have a country club.
Country club?
Yes, sir, with a golf course and a little spa. Now, that's why I bought this little piece of land. It's not very big. It's only about 1,000 acres, but, sir, it's got genuine hot springs on it. And lots of good building sites for homes and,
We're not interested, Newmark.
Now, you just let me finish up here, sir. The fact is, well, I paid a good deal of money for that land, about $300,000. And I owe about another $500,000. Now, that's why I thought that maybe you could put up the rest of the money, just as a sort of loan, you understand? And I could give you, 10% of my operation, once I get it going. Now, I have some plans here to show the layout of the golf course and the
Newmark, save your
building
breath.
sites for the home.
Save your breath. Look, let me explain something to you. We don't need your little 1,000 acres if we were going to put up a recreation center, which we are not. Secondly, for this kind of money, we would demand at least half interest in your development.
Half?
Half.
Oh, listen, maybe it'd be better if I spoke to Mr. Ridgely himself.
Mr. Ridgely will not be in until Monday. Anyhow, I am empowered to make this sort of decision.
Well,
Let me explain something to you. And let me give you a little word of advice. Never dive in the deep end of a pool unless you can swim. Now, you're in over your head. Cut your losses. Get out while you can.
A written proposal. Now, I could
Don't waste your time.
I see. Well, Mr. Kovacs, it certainly was nice to meet you, and, if you should change your mind, I've left my phone number with your secretary.
Fine.
Have a nice day now.
Thank you very much.
It's okay, kid. The place is clean. How'd it go?
Terrific. Thinks I'm a Class A jerk. Tossed me out of my ear.
So, now we stick to the cheese and the tramp, and if Alan Kovacs is the rat I think he is, he's about to bite off more than he can chew.
Maybe so, Harry. If he goes for it before Bert and Ridgely gets back on Monday. Remember, Kovacs is stupid. Ridgely isn't.
Oh, don't worry, Jack. I've been plucking pigeons like Kovacs for 30 years. You get a feeling about guys like that. He's ripe like a soft brown banana waiting to be peeled.
When's the unpeeling, Harry?
First thing tomorrow morning.
Have faith, kid. Harry's good. Real good.
You're not so bad yourself. Hi.
Hi.
Did you miss me?
For 20 minutes, don't flatter yourself.
A little something to jog your memory.
I don't think my memory needs any jogging. How'd it go?
Oh, I don't know, Megan. I don't think it's such a good deal.
Really? Everybody's making so much money with them. Didn't you say that Howard Wilkins doubled his investment in 90 days?
Sweetheart, believe me, I think we're going to be much better off with a condominium in Hawaii. It's a lot safer.
Safe? If the Wright brothers played it safe, we'd be rowing to Hawaii.
Would you like to drive, woman?
Yes, sir. We're gonna be 15 minutes late already.
Mustn't be late for the in-laws.
You're really gonna like my brother.
Oh, I'm sure.
You're a lot alike, you two. Anyway, he's probably not even at the restaurant yet. He's probably down at City Hall talking with the mayor.
Mayor? What is he, a politician?
Didn't I tell you? Max, the police commissioner.
What about the ink on his fingers?
Well, sir, it looks like Lieutenant Callahan was right. Whatever Pablo, what's-his-name, was printing, it wasn't U.S. currency.
But he was working on something.
Well, sir, about 6 weeks ago, he took a basement office on Calaveras Avenue, and he paid for it in advance in cash. And he moved in this printing press. But there's nothing there now, sir. The place has been cleaned out.
Where's he staying?
We're checking that out now, sir.
Okay, keep at it.
Sally, where have you two been? I've been trying to track you down all afternoon.
Oh, dancing at the Escudero, lunch at the top of Mad Impetuous Day.
We've been shopping.
Commissioner, could you take one of these? My good knee is going.
You know, why didn't you tell me you were going to be home? I never would have hired that babysitter. Do you know what they're charging
The
these days?
babysitter is gone. We have company.
Wonderful. Who?
Family company.
My mother's in Houston with Uncle George.
My family.
Your family?
My family.
Sally. Sally, dear.
Mother McMillan. Oh, God.
This is a surprise, dear?
It certainly is, dear.
Oh, you sweet, precious thing. Let me look at you. Heavens, I'm so jealous. You look so young. And just having had that superb little fellow up there, you must tell me what you use. And I suppose this is Muriel.
Mildred, Mother.
Oh, Mildred, of course. I've heard so much about you. Tell me, the Stewarts still leave his shorts under the bed?
I wouldn't know, Mrs. McMillan. I try to go under the bed as little as possible.
Mildred, why don't you beat it?
Aha, my very thought, Commissioner.
Well, here we are. How long has it been since you two have seen each other?
Oh, must be 6 years.
2 months and 14 days.
Now, isn't that precious? I wasn't sure you'd remember.
Well, that was the day that Mac and I got married.
Oh, has it really been that long? Well, Sally, I know you'll be so happy to know there's going to be another wedding in the family.
Mother McMillan.
Please, Sally, darling, just Beatrice. You make me feel like Grandma Moses.
Well, you've been alone too long, Beatrice.
Oh, heavens, no, not me. No, indeed. No, 23 years with Stuart's father was marriage enough for anyone. No, I mean Megan.
Meg? Did you hear that, Mac? That's fabulous.
Yes, I heard that.
If I'm going to make another meatloaf, I have to go get some more hamburger.
Hold it, Mildred. Forget the meatloaf. I made a reservation at the Lobster Trap, and we're late already.
Stuart, you really should have insisted that Sally and Muriel join us.
But I did, but Sally was exhausted, and Mildred made a date with her sister.
Well, only because you wouldn't let her visit her sister for the rest of the week.
Mother, believe me, when Muriel volunteers to visit her sister, it's generally out of desperation, not devotion.
Oh, I couldn't. Not on top of the bourbon.
Burgundy, Mother.
Burgundy?
All right, you two lovebirds. I think now is the spot where I say a few badly chosen words.
Wonderful, a toast.
Don't make a fool of yourself, Mac.
A little respect, please. Meg, Randy, here's to your troubles. May they all be small ones. Here's to your heartaches. May they all pass by as quickly as they came. And most of all, may you have as much happiness as I've had with Sally the last 6 years.
Thank you. That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Well, dear, I think it's time we retreated to the powder room. Don't worry. Your brother doesn't get vicious until the stroke of 12.
Don't count on it. Well, now,
sir. I'm sorry.
You go ahead. No. You go ahead. No, I insist. No, I insist.
Well, sir.
Mac. People call me Mac, whether they know me or not.
Mac. I guess this comes as something of a shock to you. I mean, you really don't know very much about me at all.
That's true.
But there's one thing I want you to understand. I love Megan. Very, very much.
I can see that.
Now, as far as my prospects are concerned, I have an investment in a condominium in Hawaii, which I hope will be a profitable one, and perhaps will lead to other things. If not, I have a good background. I was born in Rochester, and I attended Choate Prep School.
Choate? When was that?
13 years ago.
Well, then you must know Charlie Clark.
Clark?
Yeah, football. Halfback. He's about your age. His father's one of our chief inspectors.
Charlie Clark. Yeah, of course. I mean, everybody knew of him. We wouldn't have had much of a team without him. I doubt that he'd remember me, however. Oh, here, let me have it.
No, I'll take it.
Come on.
No, this time, this one's... Saturday, you start paying the bills. This one's on me.
Listen, don't worry about Megan. We're gonna be just fine.
I know you will.
Mac, how should we do the monogram on the silver? Should we do R with a big N and a little M, or should we just do RN plain?
Oh, just give him money.
That's too impersonal.
Well, then give him a personal check.
Mac, we've got to give him something special now.
Charlie Clark.
Who's Charlie Clark?
He never went to Choate.
Neither did I.
Neither did Randy.
What?
Tonight at the restaurant, Randy told me he went to Choate and that he knew Charlie Clark. You know Ed Clark's son?
Uh-huh.
Well, I knew something was wrong, and it just now hit me. Charlie Clark never went to Choate. He went to Harkness.
So?
So he lied to me.
In 3 days, your sister is going to marry a very charming young man, and already you're acting like a cop.
I am not.
You are, too.
I'm not either.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You deliberately trapped him into a fib.
I did not.
You did. Besides, do you know how many Charlie Clarks there are in the world? Why would he lie anyway?
I don't know.
He can't be a fortune hunter. Your mom and Meg don't exactly have a lot of money.
Okay. Let's change the subject.
Okay. Do you remember our wedding night?
Uh-huh.
Do you think I'm as beautiful as I was then? Now, don't lie.
You're even more beautiful.
You sure don't act like it.
Remember now, Mama and Meg are in the next row.
They're probably asleep by now.
Do you think so?
Stuart?
Yes, Mother?
Stuart, is there something wrong in there?
No, everything's just fine.
That's nice. Don't fight. Night, Stuart.
Good night, Mother.
Say good night, Mac.
Good night.
Hiya.
Good morning.
Good morning. I don't believe that I've ever seen you before.
Oh, Maggie's home with a cold. I'm Kathy.
Sergeant Enright. Charlie's okay.
Is he? That's nice.
What's nice?
That Charlie's okay. Who's Charlie?
No, I meant that you can call me Charlie.
Oh, then that must be your name.
Right.
I love the name Charlie.
You do?
It's my husband's name, too.
Uh-huh.
Now, what can I do for you, Sergeant?
Is he here?
I'm not sure. I mean, he's in the office, but I'm not sure he's here.
Yes?
Sergeant Enright to see you, sir.
Send him in.
Go right ahead.
Thanks.
Good morning. Bad morning. Do you know what it's like to try to read the newspaper in the kitchen among 4 jabbering women?
No, sir, not really. Anyway, it won't last forever.
Put that in writing and I'll hold you to it. What have you got?
Well, sir, we finally managed to trace Pablo Javier to the Crestmont Hotel.
Javier.
Beg pardon, sir?
Javier, not Javier. The J is silent. You pronounce it like a ha. Javier.
I can't say that, sir. Anyway, he's been a guest at this hotel and registered there for 2 weeks. There wasn't too much to find, except these.
What is it?
This, sir, is rag parchment. Looks like he was trying various inks. Now, the lab boys say that this isn't used for currency, but for certificates, stocks, bonds, that sort of thing.
You mean he was counterfeiting stocks and bonds?
Well, we don't know that for sure, sir.
Any tie-in with the death of that Japanese
Mirabushi, sir. Nothing that we can find, sir.
Well, keep trying. If you find anything out, let me know.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Sergeant.
Yes, sir?
I want you to check out somebody else for me.
Oh, right away, sir.
His name is Randall Newmark III. Born in Rochester, New York, 1945. I'm not sure the exact date.
Newmark? Isn't that the guy your sister's gonna marry?
That's precisely why I want him checked out.
Any particular reason?
Yes. I mean, no. I don't know. Just do it.
Yes, sir.
And not a word about this to Mrs. McMillan.
Which one, sir?
Either one.
You can count on me.
Okay.
Frank Teasdale, geological engineer. What can I do for you, Mr. Teasdale?
Well, you can start by making this check good.
$10,000? Is this some kind of a joke? It's not even our check.
Well, it better be. The young fella gave me said it was being backed by Tamco.
Randall Newmark III. Wait a minute. Is he about 30 years old, dark hair, pleasant, kind of eager?
Yeah, that's the fella. Now, where do I find him?
Don't ask me. I threw him out of this office yesterday. Him and his crazy golf course.
Golf course? What golf course?
I don't know. He explained something to me about buying some land adjacent to our holdings, and he was going to put a country club up on it or something.
Golf course. That's what he told you? Well, that's funny.
What's funny?
Oh, nothing. You know, these crazy kids trying to make it big overnight. Well, thank you, Kovacs. Sorry I troubled you.
Teasdale. Why would he give you a $10,000 check for a geological survey?
Now, did I say that? Well, that must have been a slip of the tongue.
Dan?
You call me out?
Yeah, that little guy who just left, you can still catch him. I want you to follow him. Find out where he goes and who he sees.
Something wrong?
I don't know. Maybe that kid who came in here yesterday is not as dumb as he looks.
Impossible, Mrs. McMillan. Saturday is out.
Oh, you're just being stubborn.
And you, Mrs. McMillan, are being impossible. I have a golf game with the bishop at 10 o'clock.
Oh, twaddle.
I'm waiting at 4. And I have 2 baptisms. And I have to prepare a Sunday sermon. And in that regard, may I say, you have proved to be a singular inspiration.
Perhaps you could just squeeze us in the morning early before your golf match.
Oh, my dear child. The sacrament of marriage is a feast. You want me to be a short-order cook?
Otis Coffey, you married my son, you married me, you married my husband's parents before that.
That was my father.
Well, we did not travel halfway around the world to be treated like itinerants from Oakland.
Well, perhaps Sunday, late in the afternoon.
Reverend, we have to leave for Hawaii late Saturday night.
Yes, Randy was quite specific about that. Something about business, I believe. Stuart, this is terrible.
What happened?
Reverend Coffey. He refuses to marry the children on Saturday. Some silly excuse about another wedding. Now, Stuart, I want you to tell this old fool that he's behaving just like Just like...
An old fool.
You see, he admits it.
I'm sorry, Commissioner, but at such short notice, it just isn't possible.
Well, look, Meg, why doesn't Randy fly to Hawaii, do what he has to do, and come back here and have your wedding next Saturday?
I'm flying to Hawaii with Randy on Saturday night, married or otherwise.
I just won't hear of it.
Oh, Mother, stop being an old prune. Randy and I are both adults. There's nothing wrong with a physical relationship, with or without benefit of all this. Right, Mac?
What?
Fiddle. I wasn't born yesterday, children. In fact...
What?
Never mind that. The important thing is that every McMillan but 3 since 1849 has been married in San Francisco. And the 3 that didn't, well, one was hanged as a horse thief, another sailed on the maiden voyage of the Titanic, and the last one ended up living in New York City. And I don't intend to see anything like that happen to my daughter.
Be careful, Reverend. When my mother sets her jaw like that, she's going to get her way, one way or another.
Well, maybe I can squeeze them in on Saturday at 2 o'clock, if I can get the bishop to play fast. But he has a tendency to pray a lot over his 8-foot putts.
2 o'clock it is. Now run along, children, before this aging Arnold Palmer changes his mind. Shoo, shoo.
Oh, if it were anybody but you, Beatrice McMillan.
Oldest coffee, you're a pussycat.
Oh,
Sorry to run off like this, but we were supposed to meet the hotel people 10 minutes ago.
Oh, my, in that case, I'd better drive.
Now, Mother, remember the speed limit.
Copper. The kid's land is loaded with copper.
Sure looks like he fell into something and doesn't even know it.
Oh, he knows about it, all right. Don't worry about that. That guy Teasdale is one of the country's top geologists. Golf course, huh? Some golf course. He wants $500,000 from me at a lousy 10%. He's sitting on 12 to 15 million bucks. Well, I'm going to have another little talk with Mr. Newmark about his golf course.
Wouldn't that be something? I mean, if we were to end up owning a real mine, we might even become legitimate.
Hey, you want to get your finger broken? That's for supper. Put it back.
Mildred, I won't be here for supper.
Oh, you hungry? I'll make you a sandwich. Sit down.
No. That's all right.
No, if you get malnutrition, the commissioner will blame me. Let me see. Some bread. Right. No bread.
Well, that's okay, Mildred. Forget the bread. Well, maybe a little soup, a little salad.
No, a little patience. Wait a minute. No, where's the bread? Where would she...
Hey, Mildred, that's the dishwasher?
Yeah, I know that, and you know that. But would the commissioner's mother know that? Okay, Okay, lady, where'd you put it? Come on. Just a sec. Okay, you're the detective. What goes with bread? Bread and butter? Okay, butter, but no bread.
Mildred, I'll just have a couple of cookies.
Bread and water. She wouldn't put it in the bathtub, would she? Oh, well, of course. How could I be so stupid?
What is it?
Well, we went to the store this morning. She insisted on buying oven-baked bread. I'm awfully glad she didn't want any head cheese.
No, Mother, I am not going to wear a swallowtail coat, especially when nobody but the family's going to be there.
You are not going to give away your sister looking like a bum.
A brand new, stylish, dark blue suit does not make me look like a bum.
Commissioner?
Oh, excuse me. This is my mother, Mrs. McMillan, Mrs. Sargent Enright.
How awfully nice to meet you.
My pleasure. How's Mrs. McMillan, sir?
Oh, she's fine. She's upstairs resting. Now, Sergeant, I want your honest opinion about something. Now, never mind that I am the commissioner and you are just a sergeant with 7 years left to go until your pension.
I'm glad you're not loading the questions, sir.
Right. Now, which do you think would be more appropriate for a wedding in the afternoon with just the family? A nice, neatly pressed dark suit, or a moth-eaten, rented set of tails with a too heavily starched collar that probably doesn't fit?
Well, sir, I've always believed that special occasions require special attention, especially weddings and funerals. They're both so final.
You see?
I'll see you in my office first thing in the morning.
Well, sir, if you need something to wear, my cousin Bernie runs a rental shop on Fremont Street. And, oh, there is just one more thing, sir. About you-know-who? Who? About the gentleman you asked me to check out this morning. Well, if we could talk in private.
Yes, let's talk privately.
Stuart?
Yes, Mother?
You didn't.
Didn't what?
He did, didn't he?
No, ma'am, I did.
Stuart, you are incorrigible. Your own brother-in-law.
He's not my brother-in-law yet. Go ahead, Sergeant.
Well, sir, I don't know how you found out, but nobody named Randall Newmark III ever lived in Rochester or went to Choate School or any of those things.
Thank you. Very good. Nevertheless, I'll see you in my office first thing in the morning.
Yes, sir. Good night, Mrs. McMillan.
Good night.
Good night. Now, Mother, before you say one word, let's understand one thing. Meg is my little sister, and I feel a certain responsibility toward her. Now, cop or no cop, it's my duty to find out everything I can about the man she's going to marry. Now, I'm sorry if you don't agree, but that's just the way it is.
Absolutely.
The fact is, she's just a kid. What did you say?
You're absolutely right. Sergeant Enright is correct. Randy has been lying to us. I want to know as much as you do.
Absolutely.
On the other hand, there may be a perfectly valid explanation. And if there is, you will go downtown with that sergeant and pick out a set of tails tomorrow for Saturday. Agreed?
Agreed. You're a hard woman, Beatrice McMillan.
And you are a dear.
Prowling around down here, I thought maybe you could use this.
Thank you, Mildred. That's very thoughtful.
You know, Commissioner, it's none of my business, but your sister's a big girl now. I don't think she'd mind if you'd go off to bed.
That's not why I'm waiting up.
Oh, my mistake.
Is something bothering you?
Well, yes, now that you mention it, there is. I'm having some trouble with,
My mother?
Yeah. I know she's a fantastic lady, but she's making a shambles of my house. My coffee pot is missing. She puts empty cereal boxes back in the cupboard.
Oh, Mildred, she's used to living in hotels. She just wants to feel needed.
Needed. You know what she made for lunch? Oysters Rockefeller.
Mm.
If I was a Rockefeller, I'd sue for defamation of character. I'm still trying to pick little pieces of shells out of the garbage disposal.
She means well.
That's what they said about Marie Antoinette. I tell you, she's driving me crazy. If she doesn't leave Sunday the way she promised, I'm just going to have to go to my sister's house and wait until she does.
What on earth's going on?
Oh, nothing, Mother. Just a minor revolt.
Sunday, Commissioner.
What Sunday? Bastille Day. You feel so sweet, but sometimes I have trouble understanding her.
Mother,
Oh,
please do me a favor. Call her Mildred.
oh. Doesn't she like her name?
Daddy, will you knock it off? I've got to get some sleep.
Well, it was just a suggestion.
Proposition.
So I'm excessively libidinous.
You're a dirty old man.
I certainly am.
Mother, Mac, what are you doing up?
Spencer Tracy and the father of the bride.
Good evening, sir. I mean, Mac. I mean, sir.
Mac, you're not serious. You mean you really waited up for me? That's terrific.
Actually, I want to talk to Randy.
Rent? Oh, sure. Little man-to-man chat. If the dower's over $100, take it.
Meg.
Come on, Mother, let's go to bed. Leave these two to their men.
Meg, your fiancé's a fraud. I'm sorry. Did a little checking of your background. There is no Randall Newmark III. Never was. No, I don't know what kind of a phony line you're handing my sister or who you really are.
So that's it.
Megan.
Who do you think you are, Stuart McMillan? Snooping around behind Randy's back.
He's called the Heat, darling, or something like that.
Don't you think I know all about Randy?
You know?
Of course I do.
Meg, knock it off. It's all right. Mac was only doing his job. You're right. My name isn't Newmark. It's Murphy. Randall Francis Murphy. If you can believe that.
Murphy. Dear, that's Irish, isn't it?
I was born in Brooklyn, not Rochester. And I didn't go to Choate. I was raised by the Sisters of Charity until I got up enough nerve to run away, join the Navy. After 4 years of getting kicked in the butt, forgive me, by petty officers, I decided there was only one thing for me to do, and that was to get out, get an education. Learn some manners, get to work. Megan knows all this. The reason why I didn't tell Mrs. McMillan was, I guess I was ashamed of who I was, where I came from.
No one holds that against you.
They certainly don't. I say people are as people do. And you do just fine. Stuart, apologize.
No, Mrs. McMillan, please.
No, Mother's right. I just stuck my nose in where I shouldn't have. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Now that's settled. I'm going to bed.
Me too.
Stuart?
In a moment, Mother.
Now, don't be too late. Remember, you have to make an appointment tomorrow with Sergeant Enright's cousin.
Did I tell you about this wonderful cotton dress that I got for the plane?
No.
It's beautiful, and it's only $95 a steal.
$95? Who's doing the stealing?
One for the road.
Hey, you know, speaking of Sergeant Enright, I'm new here. I don't really know anybody, and I'm going to need a best man. You don't suppose that he'd consent to do it, do you?
It's possible. I'll talk to him. First thing in the morning. Brandy, okay?
Yeah, fine.
Welcome to the family.
Thank you.
No hard feelings?
In your shoes, I'd have done exactly the same thing.
Well, it's an occupational hazard. I've been hit with quite a bit the last couple of days. When you two get settled over in Hawaii, why, Sally and I'll take a couple of weeks off and come on over. We'll get better acquainted.
Good, I'd like that. Listen, it really is late. I'd better be going.
You take care of that little girl. She's the only kid sister I have.
You have my word. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Good night.
Well. So?
The rats are sniffing at the cheddar. Nose is twitching. Beady little eyes glistening with greed.
You should have been a poet, Harry.
There's no money in that, my boy.
So what happened?
One of Mr. Kovac's associates broke into my motel room at exactly 5:51 p.m.
The phony report, did he find it?
He did. It was back in place, but the thread that I'd put on top of it was gone.
Terrific.
Now, we can expect to hear from Mr. Kovacs by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Count on it.
Harry, you're beautiful.
The only thing that worries me is taking those Tamco bonds instead of cash.
Look, there's nothing to worry about. You understand? I mean, Kovac's a pigeon, but he can't lay his hands on the cash. The bonds are negotiable. The way Tamco's going, we won't have any trouble unloading him.
Maybe so. We'll dump him and get out quick. How's the little lady? You still going through with the wedding Saturday?
Yeah, why not? I'm in love, aren't I?
Oh, sure you are. But what has one got to do with the other?
Nothing, Harry. Nothing.
Randall Francis Murphy, born in Brooklyn, New York, April 14th, 1945.
What about his fingerprints?
Well, they check out with the Navy Department and with the FBI.
Any criminal activity?
No, sir. Not even a traffic violation. And that should put your mind at ease, sir.
Well, every now and then it's good to be wrong.
I think he's a wonderful person.
Yes?
Lieutenant Callahan to see you, sir.
Good. Send him in. How would you like to be best man to that wonderful person tomorrow?
Me, sir? Well, I'm a little scared at weddings, but, okay, sure, as long as I'm not the person getting married.
Morning, Commissioner.
Morning.
Charlie? Hi. Got a lead on the death of that counterfeiter, Pablo Javier. Here, take a look. Building's owned by Trans-Alaska Mining Corporation, TAMCO. Maybe you've heard of it?
Aren't they the ones that reopen old abandoned gold mines?
Well, that's what they say, but there's something a little cockeyed about that whole operation. That's why the captain had a camera crew working the building the past couple of weeks.
Well, what's a character like Pablo
Javier
got to do with TAMCO?
That's what we'd like to know. It's pretty touchy business, Commissioner, because there's a lot of foreign money coming into this corporation.
Foreign money, like Japanese money?
Yes, sir. They're into just about everything. They've got a lot of money to invest these days.
And if it is a swindle, Commissioner,
There could be serious international repercussions, but with a known counterfeiter doing business with TAMCO, it's a definite possibility. Now, that Japanese national...
Mirabushi, sir?
Yeah, Mirabushi. I want to know more about him. The Japanese government put a lot of heat on him when he died. I want to know why.
Do you think there's a connection between Marabushi and TAMCO, sir?
There's a hell of a connection between Mirabushi and Javier. They were both killed by the same gun. Things are starting to shape up. Oh, I also want to see some footage on that surveillance film.
We can set that up, sir.
Meanwhile, I want to see that TAMCO file, what you've got on it and who's behind it.
Right away, sir.
Whoever killed Javier and Mirabushi must have had a good reason, but one thing's certain, they're not to be fooled with.
Nice of you to come back, Mr. Newmark. I'm sorry it was such short notice.
Oh, it's my pleasure, sir. I just appreciate the chance to get to talk to you again.
Well, I discussed the entire matter with my associate, Mr. Hagstrom, and, well, I may have been a bit hasty.
I like your plan, Newmark. Logical, yet imaginative. Can't expect people to work 24 hours a day.
No, sir.
Your country club may be just what we need, morale-wise.
Right. I think we may be able to work something out, providing the terms are mutually agreeable.
Well, now, Mr. Kovacs, I hate to press you, and I certainly wouldn't if I didn't have to, but I think I told you I had this note due the middle of next week, $500,000.
Oh, I didn't realize it was due that quickly.
Oh, yes, sir.
Who holds the note?
Cascade Mortgage Investment Company over on West Larrabee. They're awfully nice people, but you know, business is business. And, well, gosh, if I don't make good on that note, I'm going to lose everything.
Well, Dan, I think we can talk to Mr. Ridgely first thing Monday.
Oh, sure. I suppose we could do that.
I'll be in touch.
Thank you. But,
no later than Monday. Now, you just sit tight.
Mr. Kovacs, you're a lifesaver. The terms, sir, that I mentioned to you, the $500,000 for 10% interest, that's okay, isn't it?
Perfect. Just leave Mr. Ridgely to us.
Well, thank you again. It's nice to meet you, Mr. Hagstrom. Have a nice day.
What was all that about? You had him and you let him go.
Trouble with you, Dan, is you don't think. Now, he's got a note that's due. He can't meet the deadline. We take over the note, he's out in the cold. We're sitting on a copper mine worth $10–15 million.
That's great. But where do we get the $500,000 to buy the note?
Right out of the vault.
The phony bonds?
They're as negotiable as cash.
Well, that's crazy. Mr. Ridgely says we don't dump that stuff until the end of the month.
The hell with Ridgely. Now, this whole thing's gonna blow up any minute. Who's gonna wind up with the dough? Not you and me, Danny boy.
I don't know, Al.
Who's been taking all the risks? Us. Killing Javier. And that Japanese detective that was snooping around last winter.
We weren't sure he was a detective.
Well, he was looking for something. Now, why do you think I have my boat ready? Because I like deep-sea fishing? Look, if we work this right, Mr. Ridgely will know nothing about those bonds being missing. Now, you call Cascade Mortgage Company, find out who runs the outfit, get them on the phone. We don't have any time.
I sure hope you know what you're doing, Al.
Okay, the guy getting out of the limo, that's Burton Ridgely, retired Army general. Connected in all the right places. It's all his game. He owns the majority of the stock. Number 2 man, Executive Vice President Alan Kovacs. Sort of a high-paid flunky. Mostly an inside man.
Do you have a sheet on him?
Oh, sir, they're all clean as far as we can tell. Mostly ex-Army people. Now, that's Daniel Hagstrom. Both he and Kovacs served in Ridgely's unit in Berlin a few years back. This guy, Harry Anders, he's strictly small time, but he's something else. He could rob the fillings out of your teeth while you're chewing on a steak.
Well, what's he got to do with Tamco?
Beats me. He was only filmed twice. It's for sure he's not working with those guys.
Hold it.
What is it, sir?
Back it up. Freeze it. Right there. That man coming out of the building.
We don't have an ID on him, Commissioner.
And right?
Well, sir, I hate to say it, but isn't that...
Randall Francis Murphy.
Friend of yours, Commissioner?
In a way.
Murphy, well, I can run a check on him.
We've already done that. Maybe not very well. Okay, it's 2 o'clock.
Do you have an appointment, sir?
We have an appointment at a church in exactly 24 hours.
You know, my horse was so slow, it wasn't a photo finish, but there was time for an oil painting. I think the race was crooked. Or what about the tree surgeon that fell out of his patient? Did you hear the one about the 3 fish? 2 herring, 1 smelt. I knew a guy that was so dumb, he thought Johnny Cash was the dime you put in a pay toilet. I just came back from the track. I followed a horse that loved to follow horses. The jockey used the whip so much he came across the finish line riding a meatloaf. My mother loved
Hi
it.
there.
Hi.
I'm Jenny, the cat lady. Will you do
When I
me?
was in school, I was the
Sure.
kid in the class. I was the only one who could afford a racing form. I won't say our school was tough. But when a kid raised his hand, you didn't
I'm
know
Mac
he
the
wanted to
Fuzz.
leave the room or something else back.
Are you here for a bust?
Married to a woman who was so fat.
Oh no, I'm here to see Luther.
Luther?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, he's out there putting them all to sleep.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you. It's nice to see you.
Oh, stick around. And it will be.
They put a 200-pound jockey on the horse, put lead weights in his saddle, tied his tail to the starting gate, and that was the horse that won. You know, I can keep you rolling like this for years. I know you're out there. I can smell you breathing. Did you hear about the girl was told she was pregnant? She didn't think it was hers.
Hail, old friend, well met. Welcome, Commissioner, to the sump hole of voyeurism.
You, been behaving yourself?
Commissioner, at my age, the closest I get to a liaison de coeur is writing mash notes to Dear Abby.
I didn't mean that.
Oh, you mean, am I adhering to the tenets of virtue? You may rest assured.
Say, Luther. What do you know of a man named Harry Anders?
Harry? Well, he's too small a fish for you to be involved with.
Well, I thought you and he might be up to something.
Harry and me? That's like serving a Chateaubriand on a paper plate. Well, anyway, Commissioner, he isn't very bright and he's awfully obvious. Besides, if I'm not mistaken, the authorities picked him up in the Virgin Islands several months ago.
Virgin Islands?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he was doing the old Mexican inheritance scam. You see, he pretends to be a lawyer, and then he sets up a rich mart.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't make any difference. He's probably out of circulation by now anyway. With his sheet, one more incarceration would have meant 10 to 20. Why?
He was seen a couple of days ago coming out of Trans-Alaska Mining Corporation.
Tamco?
Tamco.
It's much too sophisticated an operation for the likes of Harry.
You mean Tamco's crooked?
Now, did I say that?
In so many words?
Well, frankly, I don't know anything about the company, but when you're as old as I am, you learn to recognize a certain aroma. It's called the essence of fertilizer.
Meaning?
Well, an old maxim, but a serviceable one. When a thing seems too good to be true, it usually is. I'm reminded of the exploits of a crafty old gentleman named Charles Ponzi, State of Massachusetts, 1919. Look up the case, Commissioner. You might get an education.
I'll remember that. Tell me, do you recognize him?
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Sorry to bother you.
Oh, don't mention it. Particularly to any of my friends.
Oh, sorry.
Mr. Jennings will see you now, gentlemen. Right this way.
Well, come on in, gentlemen. Cecil Jennings.
Kovacs, Alan Kovacs.
It is a real pleasure, Mr. Kovacs.
My associate, Mr. Hagstrom.
How do you do, sir? Come on, gents. Sit down. Pull up a chair. Here we go now. Come on, get comfy. Say, this is a real pleasure, I'll tell you that. And that company of yours, woohoo! Now, there is a success story. I don't get to meet folks like you every day. You boys care for a snort?
No, thanks.
Huh? Well, it's not 6 o'clock yet. And I promised the ball and chain that I'd hold down on the liquor until the sun went down. But I guess I could always draw the blinds. Draw the blinds.
Mr. Jennings, about that note you hold for Mr. Newmark.
Oh, yes, that note. Yeah, let me see. I got it right here. Just get a look-see here. Oh, yeah. Mighty valuable piece of property. Mighty valuable. You know, I got a good feel for real estate, if I do say so myself.
Mr. Jennings, let's cut the bull right now. I can see right through you. You're a phony. And a country boy act may work with some of the clucks that come in here to get their pockets picked. But you don't fool me for a second. Now, do you want to talk business? Or do you want to play games?
All right, Mr. Kovacs, let's talk business. You must want that land pretty bad or you wouldn't be here.
Well, I want it, but I can live without it. So don't push too hard. Now, I want that note. I'm willing to give you $500,000 plus, say, $25,000 for your trouble.
Why don't we just say a flat $600,000 and let it go at that?
Agreed. I said that will be satisfactory.
Well, all right then. Have you got the bonds?
I'm sorry we couldn't get here earlier before the banks closed.
Oh, no problem. No problem, Mr. Kovacs. Tamco bearer bonds. They're as good as cash. Maybe better the way things have been going for you. I'll just stick them in the tin can over the weekend. They'll be just fine. Ruth, will you please draw up some transfer papers for our first trust deed on Newmark? That's file NEW 9765. Thank you. Well, this does call for a little drink. How about it? Huh? Hatchman? I'm gonna have a snifter. You know, I'm gonna tell you something. I wouldn't give you 2 cents for that whole state. Too damn cold. But you know, it's funny how things work out. I'm making me over $100,000 in just 3 months. Can you beat it?
You're a tough man to deal with.
Mr. McMillan, this is you. This is you.
That looks a little on the lacy side.
Yes.
Mildred?
Lacy side.
What was
This
that?
now.
You know that ceramic
This
dish
now.
you warmed your
Little
eggs in
Lacy.
yesterday?
Missing through.
tell me it's broken.
And this
Okay,
spot
I'll
has
let you be
become an
surprised.
purple, festival
maroon,
in gold is a
or
very
gold.
popular choice, Miss
Oh,
McMillan.
is it?
Combining tulips,
Listen,
roses, and marigolds
may I send out for
in
a
a
barrel of
symphony
chicken
of
and
leaves.
butter and I don't
Accented
know.
Where do I find your egg beater?
Did you try the drawer under the sink?
Yes, but all I could find was this.
Well, Mrs. McMillan, if you just let me go in there for a minute.
Nonsense, dear. You and Sally deserve a few days' rest. Now, dinner tonight is my responsibility. I think that should be quite clear to everybody.
You can count on me.
Good. Now, where did you say I'd find your egg beater?
In your hand.
Chickens, that's the silliest looking thing I ever saw in my life.
Shut up, Miss Don't you? Or you get in trouble. Don't you? On the other hand, if you prefer something a bit more vigorous, I can recommend our American the Beautiful.
Where's Randy?
I don't know. He's supposed to meet me a little bit later for dinner. Listen, Matt, could you pick out a flower for me?
Listen, could I speak to you for just a minute?
Dinner where?
Never mind where you're liable to have us tailed. That dress is frumpy.
Where's Mother?
We're decorating the kitchen in early American gravy. Could I speak to you for just...
And an open sleeve over here. Let me try this one.
Yeah, right.
Would you please?
Mother?
There you are, Stuart. Dinner at 8 sharp. If I can just figure out how to use this oven.
Mother,
You're
where
just
is
going
Randy?
to love this. Here, take a taste.
Mother.
Careful, it's hot. Well,
Well, it's different. What is it?
ragu catmandu, of course. Oh, really, Stuart? Your eating habits must be atrocious. Dinner like this is an experience.
Mother, I know you went to an awful lot of trouble, but I think I...
Have you any idea how difficult it is to find fresh goat meat at this time of year?
Mother, where's Randy?
I don't know. And I wouldn't tell you if I knew. You're being much too critical, Stuart. I want you to leave those young people alone.
I am only trying to keep your daughter from making a mistake.
Randy, what's his name, is a darling young boy. I know he fibbed to us, but he's so charming. How can you not love him?
Easily.
Stuart, don't you dare leave this kitchen.
Yes, Mother.
You're behaving like a perfect idiot, and I won't stand for it.
I am not.
You may be the commissioner of police, but to me, you're still a little boy in short pants, and right now you deserve to be treated like one. Megan loves that young man, and that's good enough for me. And if you do anything to spoil her happiness, I'll never speak to you again.
All right, Mother, you win. You win. If he's what Megan wants, he is what Megan's gonna get. For better or for worse, and I shan't say another word.
That's my little boy. And right now, while I have you in a charitable mood, there's one other thing.
What is it?
Do you know a nice, friendly judge in your traffic court?
Hey, want to smile?
What?
I promise not to beat you. It's more than once a day.
You say that now.
Well, something is the matter. What is it?
No, not really.
Come on, would you like to talk about it? I don't want to have this conversation on our wedding night.
Well, I've just been thinking. I really don't know you that well.
Now, look, I confessed all my past sins to one and all last night.
Yeah, well, what do you do for a living? I mean, really do.
Investments, promotions. I told you. A little of this, a little of that.
Mr. Newman.
Yes.
I do hate to intrude. The desk clerk at your hotel told me I'd find you here. You will forgive me, dear lady. Arthur Porter, sir. Your name was given me by a mutual acquaintance regarding some corporate bonds.
Yes, of course. Porter, is it?
Yes, sir. If you could spare me a few minutes of your time later this evening, it's most urgent.
Yeah, certainly. How about my hotel room? 30 minutes.
Excellent. Please do finish your meal. I'm so sorry to have butted in.
Who was that man?
Who knows? But it could be important.
I've seen him before. Of course. The Virgin Islands, St. Thomas. When I first met you, I saw you talking to that man several times, but you never introduced us.
No, I think you must have him confused with somebody else.
No, it's the same man. Randy, what's going on? What are you hiding from me?
Meg.
Look, I don't care. I love you. But you're closing me out from part of your life, and you can't do that. I'm going to be your wife.
You're right. I haven't been fair. But I want you to promise me something.
Sure.
What I'm going to tell you, you're not to discuss with anyone, particularly Mac. You can walk away if you have to. I mean, I don't blame you, but you're right. But this is strictly between us. Do you understand?
Okay.
Hey, what are you guys doing here?
Phony. All phony. Gentlemen, we have been artfully had.
Are you sure, Harry? They looked okay to me.
22 years of fleecing sheep. Nothing like this ever happened before.
Well, nothing to do but pack it in.
Hang on, Joe. You know something? I think we're onto something here.
At this rate, we're onto the unemployment line.
I know. Look, what's Tamco doing with phony bonds? They're supposed to be legitimate,
Oh,
right?
easy, boy.
If these characters are unloading phony bonds, we can bet they're going to pay a lot of money in order to get them back. At least Burton Ridgely would.
Not me.
You're not suggesting we shake down a man like Burton Ridgely?
What do you want to do? You want to walk away empty-handed?
Empty-handed I'll be. Empty-headed I'm not. You do what you like. But this stuff's out of my league. As far as I'm concerned, you're sticking your neck out and you're going to get it chopped up.
Come on, Harry, let's get out of here. Good luck, kid.
Yeah, operator. I'd like to place a long-distance person-to-person call to Mr. Burton Ridgely. My name is Newmark. I'm in room 452. Montreal, Canada. No, I don't have a number, but he should be staying in one of the larger hotels.
No, operator, I don't know the number. Charleston, South Carolina. Yeah. Frank Teasdale. You're damn right it's an emergency call.
Cleaned out. Everything. The desks, the file, the safe. As if Cascade Mortgage Investment Company never existed.
That's what I'm afraid of. Hello? Hello? Yeah. Oh, just a minute, operator. I'll talk to Mrs. Teasdale. Yeah. Mrs. Teasdale, Alan Kovacs here. I'm trying to track down your husband. I met him recently in San Francisco. What? He is? I see. No, thanks. Sorry to have bothered you. The real Frank Teasdale's in South Africa. He's been there for the past 7 weeks.
And who?
That's what I'd like to know. Yeah.
Alan?
It's you, sir. I didn't expect you on this line.
Obviously. What's going on back there, Alan?
Going on how, sir?
I had a very strange phone call early this morning. A man wants to sell me some counterfeit Tamco security, $600,000 worth.
But that's impossible, sir.
I was afraid for a moment that you'd let some of our special offering out of your sight. That all has to hit the market quickly and quietly.
I understand, sir.
A thing like this, well, you can see the problem. Still in all, the man knows something.
Well, let me check right into it, sir.
No need, Alan. I'm meeting him at 9 tonight in San Francisco. I'll deal with the problem personally. It will be interesting to hear how he acquired the certificates. I'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Gotta find those guys, Dan. Teasdale, the guy from the mortgage company, and especially that kid. And we gotta get those bonds back. And I don't want any of the three of them to say anything, ever, about what happened last night. You know what I'm saying?
Sally, I can't get this tie right.
Put your chin up.
Maybe if I just wore a dark blue suit.
Oh, you mean like that nice one you always wear at a funeral or helicopter christening?
Yeah. Just the pants fit.
Well, suck it in. You'll get through it.
I am sucking it in.
Sally, will you go talk to Megan? She's impossible. She's a million miles away.
Cold feet?
Well, how should I know? I'm just a mother. Do you think she tells me anything? Photographers. I don't even have my face on.
Mother! I better go. Mac, would you be a doll and get the...
Yeah, I'll get the door. Hey, Charlie. You look very sharp.
Thank you, sir. So do you, sir.
Thank you.
Commissioner, this is for you.
Why, Sarge?
Well, sir, I've always understood that the best man is supposed to look after that sort of thing. I have one more in here for Randy.
Fine. But aren't you a little bit early?
Yes, sir. But I just received a teletype about that Japanese national Mirabushi.
And?
Well, sir, we didn't get much out of the Japanese government. They identified him as a textile trader. So on a hunch, I sent a check through the Pentagon records, and it turns out that during World War II, Mirabushi was a counter-espionage agent for the Japanese. Had a law degree. Then he dropped out of sight in 1947, only to pop up here again, dead. Seemed rather strange, a man with his background.
Very strange, with all that flack we were getting. But now things are starting to get clearer. Hello? Yes, this is Commissioner. Where's the building? Right, I'll be there in 20 minutes.
What is it, sir?
Well, things are starting to pop. A building was broken into last night. A patrolman caught one in the leg. Ballistics matched it up. It came from the same gun that killed Mirabushi and Javier.
Stuart, we have a bride to give away today.
Well, not till 2 o'clock.
Well, you'd better be there. Both of you.
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Oh, dear. Oh.
Sorry, sir, out of bounds. Oh, good morning, Commissioner. Carry on.
And the guy paid in cash.
$600 in advance.
Lieutenant?
Commissioner, it's a scam, all right. Classic bunco.
Question is, who took and who got taken?
Excuse me. Sir, have you ever seen either one of those two men before?
Never seen him before.
Are you sure?
Positive. The only guy I met was Jennings, Cecil Jennings.
We've got a description, Commissioner. The artist is on the way to work up a sketch.
Whoever killed Javier and Mirabushi broke in here last night. Javier probably worked for Tamco. Harry Anders and Randy were at Tamco offices. Enright, I want you to go to Randy's hotel room. Stick with him all the way to the church. Take my car.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Callahan, what do you know about a man named Charles Ponzi?
Ponzi? Oh, that was over 50 years ago, sir.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly he bought international postal reply coupons and traded them wherever the rate of exchange was favorable. Gold for stamps. Within 6 months, he had 20,000 investors who put up over 10 million bucks. The fact was, he never traded a stamp in his life.
I don't get it.
Well, you see, sir, the initial investors were paid off by the money he got from later investors. Then they were paid off in the same way, like a big pyramid. The trick is to get out and disappear before the thing collapses. Ponzi's mistake was he just waited too long.
I want you to get in touch with the Virgin Islands. Find out about a man named Harry Anders. If he was arrested, why he was arrested, and in particular, when he was released.
Yes, sir. I'll get right on it.
Teasdale. Sorry, he checked out early this morning. I didn't leave any forwarding address.
You make any calls?
Sure, some. But I can't give out the numbers. On the other hand, seeing that you're a friend, he made 10 calls. I don't know any of these numbers except this one here. That's the number of the Empire Hotel over on Elkhart Street.
Look, it'll all be over soon.
What?
Well, you know, it's all your frame of mind. Once you resign yourself, it's really very easy. About 10 years ago, I was standing in a spot just like this. The seconds were ticking off one by one. And you know, she was a wonderful girl. But then my best man had to come to me and tell me that she'd been taken from me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sergeant. An accident?
No, an insurance man from El Centro.
She left you waiting at the altar.
That's right.
I
But the
see.
topper is this. 3 weeks later, her husband has the nerve to phone me and try and sell me a whole life insurance policy. Well, I told him he could take his whole life and, well, hello, sir.
Mac, it's after 2.
What do you know about Trans-Alaska Mining? You were at their offices yesterday and the day before.
You having me followed, or what?
We've got a surveillance team working the building. In a week or so, maybe less, we're going to blow that operation wide open. But now I want to know if you're involved or not.
I am not. I considered investing, decided against it.
Who's this man?
Never saw him before.
Really? His name is Harry Anders. He's a confidence man. Several months ago, he was working the Virgin Islands. You were there at the same time when you met Meg. 2 days ago, he was seen coming out of the Tamco building. 10 seconds later, you came out of the same door. Now, if that's a coincidence, I'm Daffy Duck.
Stuart, where on earth have you been?
Mother.
This is nothing short of disaster. It's 2:05. Reverend Coffey has disappeared. Megan's nearly in tears.
Mother, it's all right. Reverend Coffey has been delayed. His assistant, Reverend Vandenberg, will officiate.
Oh, thank heaven something's going right today. I won't relax until this thing is over. Come on, hurry up.
We'll continue this later.
This is impossible. We should have been married in City Hall.
Well, at least Randy's here. I mean, how would you feel without a groom?
Here he is, darling. Everything's going to be all right. Megan, wipe off your face or pull down your veil or something.
Mac, where were you?
Oh, just getting a lesson in high finance. You nervous?
Yeah, a little.
Second thoughts?
No,
What's the matter?
nothing. I'm just a little uptight, that's all.
It's not too late to back out. Look, sis, I'm only thinking of your welfare. If you want to back out, back out. Nobody will blame you.
Mac, I know you're worried about me, but I'm a big girl. I really know what I'm doing. I know it's not gonna all be lots of laughs and great fun, but I love him, and I'll take whatever comes, eyes wide open. Wish me luck.
Luck. Lots of it.
I may cry.
Me too.
It was him, the kid, Newmark. He was here, but he checked out.
Damn.
We're not through yet, Al. The kid is getting married this afternoon.
Where?
Well, the bell captain didn't know, but the reception was at the Carolwood Hotel. There's something more. When he checked out, he had an extra piece of luggage, a green attaché case that he insisted on carrying himself.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here in the sight of God to join together in matrimony these two people, Randall and Megan, pledging each to the other love, honor, and respect. Whomsoever God may join in this holy estate, let no man put asunder. May God bless you, my children. May he shine down his countenance upon you. May his love reign in your hearts. May the sweet glow of his heavenly benediction light the path of darkness and lead you hand in hand to perfect happiness.
Like a Loretta Young.
May the rose petals of love and affection carpet the craggy road of life, as together you make your way through the wind-tossed storms of temptation and lust. L'chaim.
Good afternoon, sir. May I help?
Yes, my name is Newmark. My brother's getting married here this afternoon.
Oh, yes, the Newmark reception. That's at 4 o'clock in the Blue Room.
Thank you.
They should be here any time now. The happy couple's taking the bridal suite. Would you care to wait in the lobby?
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes. Cameron? Yes, Cameron. Just a moment, and I'll see you.
Sweetheart, why don't you let the bellman carry that one, too?
No, it's like it.
Mac, I sure hope that Sally can make it to the reception.
Oh, she will. She just wanted to go home first and check the baby.
Well, I'm going to the Blue Room and check on the orchestra.
3 electric guitars and a bass fiddle do not make an orchestra.
Oh, dear. Hope they're not tacky.
Well, I think I'd like to go up to the room and freshen up a little.
That's a good idea. Yes, why don't we all go, then, at least until the other guests arrive?
Now that's tacky.
Well, it's 10 minutes to 4, and we have to be out of here by 6, and we wouldn't want the happy couple to be sidetracked by anything.
Mac!
We'll, see you soon.
I'm gonna go to the Blue Room, make sure your mother doesn't get into any trouble.
Did you see that attaché case?
Yes, sir. Green leather of 14 inches by...
We have to find out what's in it, because if it's what I think it is, it all may piece together. The Javier murder and the Tamco swindle.
Well, we could also prove that your new brother-in-law is a crook, sir. No offense.
That's why you have to go up to the bridal suite and open up the bag.
Me, sir?
I don't want my mother or my sister to find out I had anything to do with it.
Well, that's very sensitive, sir.
No, gutless.
Here's your key, sir. Sir? Your key.
Thank you. Yes.
Is there anything else I can get you?
No.
Oh, thank you, sir. I hope you have an enjoyable stay.
Hello, Mrs. Murphy.
Hello yourselves.
Listen, we've got about 4 minutes. Would you
We've
like
got
to...
a whole lifetime.
Might be shorter than you think. Hate to interrupt your honeymoon, Mr. Newmark, But I believe you have something that belongs to me.
Randy, who are these men?
Open it.
I don't have a key.
I said open it.
Mr. Thackeray, 2 men on the 10th floor. They attacked Miss Whirple and stole her passkey. Hold that elevator.
Been a busy boy the last couple of days, Newmark.
Randy, I don't understand. What does this mean?
Meg.
Means, my dear, that your husband's a thief.
Randy.
No, Meg.
No!
I've got to get that bag.
They'll kill...
Hold it!
Don't move!
Randy?
Back off! I said back off! All right, Newmark, get that case. And be very careful. And bring it back in this room.
You hurt her, and I swear.
You just do what you're told and she won't get hurt. Easy, Commissioner. Right there. Let's go. Come on. Get your hands up. Get against the wall flat. Commissioner! There's a green sedan parked in front of the hotel. Fill it up with gas, bring it around to the back. Leave the keys in it. And when I come back there, I don't want to see anybody or your sister gets it first. You hear me, Commissioner?
The car will be here in 10 minutes. I'll take care of it myself. What about your friend here?
It's all yours.
Come on. Come on. Up.
Can I take my hands down?
What'd I tell you?
Come on, point the thing at me. Leave her alone.
Cut the act, Newmark. She already thinks you're Prince Charming. You sure can pick him.
Officer, take care of this man. Enright, I want you to gas up that car and get it out back. Operator, this is an emergency. This is Commissioner McMillan. I would like to have 555-2212, please. Callahan, me. I'm at the Carrollwood Hotel. I want you over here on the double. I want a radio device and a triangulator. And there's something else I want you to bring with you. Less than a minute.
When did you start to smoke?
Just now.
Stuart, what's happening? What's happening up in that room?
Easy, Mother.
They say there's a man up there with a gun holding them hostage.
They're going to be all right, I promise.
You must do something.
I'm doing everything I can. Now, let's go back inside.
Well, I won't move.
You'll move if I have to carry you.
Wait, Stuart, you sound just like your father.
No.
You drive. Don't break any traffic laws. I'll be in the back with the missus. Doing just fine, Newmark. You're doing very, very good. You're smart. Not smart enough, but you're smart. And that dumb country boy act of yours down pretty good.
Callahan, you got a fix on their position yet?
We've got him, Commissioner. They're moving west on 135th Street. All units have been ordered to stay away from that car.
Good. Keep it that way.
Sir, what'll we do if they decide to leave the car?
I don't know. I really don't know.
For better or for worse, huh? It's really a laugh. Police commissioner's sister marrying this cheap hustler. You should have told her. And there's a lot of things you should have told her. Right, Newmark? We'll ditch the car now, in case they put a bug in it. Pull over.
There it is, sir. We're going to lose him.
Now get us a cab. Take the bag with you. Remember, it's better to be a live Don Juan than a dead John Wayne.
They've stopped, Commissioner, somewhere near Fremont and 126th Street. Should I move in on him before we lose him?
No, we can't take that chance.
But, sir...
Keep your equipment going.
Yes, sir, but how are we...
Shh.
Hey, taxi!
What's the matter, bud? You late for your wedding? Oh, hi, miss. I mean, Mrs.
Slide in, you. In front, Newmark.
Where to, buddy?
South Bay Marina, main pier.
Let's go, Sergeant. We're closer than they are.
Yes, sir, but how are we...
Just keep driving.
Find it.
Well...
Randall's here, sir. Oh, thank you. That'll be all, Charlie.
I beg your pardon, sir?
Beat it.
Yes, sir.
Well, it looks as if you got caught red-handed, Mr. Newmark or Murphy or whatever your name is.
Murphy. That much was true.
Things haven't changed much, have they?
Beg your pardon?
I said Central Security hasn't changed its training procedures much in the last 20 years, have they?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course you don't. And I suppose when you saw that cigarette burning in the ashtray, it was just luck that you knew there was an electronic bug planted in the cigarette lighter.
You put that there?
That's one of the first things they teach you. I'm cleared top secret.
I should have known.
Why Central Security?
It was a Japanese agent from Interpol who was after Ridgely.
Mirabushi?
Yeah. Somehow his cover was blown and I got the assignment with nothing to go on. So the plan was to flush him out, you know, catch a thief with a thief.
I should have been notified.
Well, it just wasn't possible. Only the director and the secretary knew what I was up to, and a man like Burton Ridgely's got more ears in Washington than a Kansas cornfield.
And Harry Anders, I assume you arranged his release?
Yeah, he, and Trumbull. He got picked up in the Virgin Islands. How'd you know it was me?
A guy with his record doesn't get off that easy without somebody pulling strings. When I got down to the nitties, I had to hope that someone was you.
Anyway, it wasn't hard to hook up with them. They're a couple of nice, pleasant guys, you know, not very bright. And I was just kind of winging it until they told me that the same guy that killed Mirabushi also killed a counterfeiter. At which point I figured Tamco was probably planning on dropping some phony stocks of bonds in the market, which is why it was absolutely essential to get the bonds instead of cash.
Why didn't you bust him right then?
Well, because we'd lose the connection to Ridgely. Very important to connect regionally directly with the forged bonds. And, look, I'm scheduled to meet him a little bit later this evening. If you can arrange to get me out of here.
Oh, I think so. And the San Francisco police will even have a couple of plainclothesmen around to help keep your neck intact. Does Megan know?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't about to let her go through the rest of her life thinking that she married a thief.
It's a rough life.
Mm-hmm. But after all, you forget one thing. She's a McMillan.
Oh, yeah, about that. I think there's something you ought to know about the wedding.
Stuart!
Sally, I thought you were home with a baby.
I got a babysitter.
What for? Where's Mildred?
Stuart, I may faint.
Oh, Mother.
It's dreadful, just dreadful, my poor little girl.
Mrs. McMillan, what?
That awful man, that Reverend Vandenberg. He was an imposter. My poor little Megan has been living in sin.
Mother, I hardly think 4 hours.
5. You certainly don't think, Stuart. But I do. And I think I'm not going to move 1 inch until my daughter is properly married in San Francisco tonight. Now. Otis?
Yes, my dear. Oh, the bridegroom. Well, I suppose if he's here willingly, eh? Oh, no. That is a bit premature.
Well, Stuart.
Well.
One more time.
Well?
Oh, yes. Dearly beloved, we are gathered together here in the sight of God to join together in matrimony these two people, Randall and Megan.
Trying to be heard above the din of 15 cash registers, gobbling up America's hard-earned dollars.
You were accusing me of being extravagant with our money.
I merely asked why you ran out of money again this week when we increased the food budget every week for the last 2 months.
Ha! Well, someone told the supermarket. For example, wheat treats. Marked 68 cents. Then that's crossed out and they put 76 cents. Then today they charge you 79 cents for a box of wood shavings. Why are you opening those? You hate wheat treats. Those are for Mildred.
I'm looking for the iron-on patch.
We better let Mildred put this stuff away. We're going to be late. We're supposed to be at the Lobster Trap at 6:45.
Why?
It's the opening of the Civic Light Opera House. Can't you remember anything? The Merry Widow. You're going to love my dress. It's blue. It's got a little fringe top. Kind of wiggles when I walk. We're going to have such a good time.
And what am I supposed to wear? Last month you loaned my tuxedo to Jim Hansen. He hasn't returned it yet.
I know. I went to a rental shop and got you another one. It's in the closet.
All right, as long as it's black and it doesn't have black ruffles.
It doesn't have any ruffles and it is black. Don't panic.
Well, goodbye.
Hello, Mildred.
Commissioner, Mrs. McMillan. I'm going to my sister's. It's a family crisis. We fear a sudden case of insanity.
Your sister?
No, me.
All right, Mildred. What's going on?
Well, this arrived for you, Commissioner, about an hour ago.
Mildred.
Well, I steamed it open in case it was good news, and I could seal it up again and surprise you.
Then it's bad news.
Well, let's look at it this way, Commissioner. It's good news if you're the kind of person who can look on an epidemic and think of it as a great chance to do medical research.
Arrive 8:05 Tuesday the 10th.
The 10th, that's today.
Flight 5:20. Can't wait to see you both. Love, Mother.
Mother? Whose mother?
I'll give you a hint. I'm leaving.
Wait a minute, where's it from?
Marrakesh.
My mother can't even spell Marrakesh. It's your mother.
My very thought, Mrs. McMillan.
She's going to be arriving right in the middle of the baked Alaska. Mildred, as long as you're deserting us, why don't you open the door on your way out to the unemployment office?
Oh, well, no one can accuse you of being subtle. I'll give you that.
Muriel. I'll bet you don't remember me.
Oh, I bet I do.
Mother.
Sally. Beatrice, good to see you again.
What do you want me to do with this?
You really want to know?
It's delightful to see you, Mother, but you're not supposed to be here until 8:05 tonight.
Nonsense. Here I am. Why? Flight 8:05 arriving at 5:20.
I knew there'd be a reasonable explanation.
And you're not to go out of your way for me. This is to be a short visit. You won't even know I'm here.
You know that bird talks.
No, could you hum a few bars?
How was your trip?
Simply marvelous. I was seated next to this perfectly wonderful little man from Libya. Well, I think it was Libya. Anyway, one of those countries that are nothing but sand. And he didn't drink. Not a drop. Something to do with his religion, you know, like the WCTU. So I had his. Oh, dear. I'm just so exhausted.
Would you like another drink?
Oh, well, I suppose one more wouldn't hurt. And tomorrow I'll tell you all about Meg and Randy and that delightful little place they have on the Big Island, you know, Hawaii.
Yeah. Well, your visit sure did catch us by surprise, Beatrice. We did have an appointment at 6:45. I suppose you'd probably like to go right to bed.
Oh, indeed I would, but I can't, I'm afraid.
Looks like we're the in place to be this season.
Today's the 10th, you know, October 10th. Andy Kennesaw's 90th birthday.
Who?
Well, he's one of the dearest people I know. He was a business partner of your grandfather's. Surely you remember my talking about him.
Well, no, not really.
Well, anyway, he wrote to me in Marrakesh. The dear man said I simply had to come back for his birthday celebration. He says he has some fantastic news, something that's going to make us absolutely rich. Isn't that wonderful?
It sounds great.
And we're all invited. But, of course, if you two have something planned, you run right along. I'll try to get there by myself.
Mother,
I'm sure I can still find my way around this city, even though it's dark.
Mother, I am not going to let you spend your first night back home alone.
Besides, we'll just all go to the party for... Is it Charlie? Andy. We could all go over to Andy's birthday, wish him a happy birthday, and then duck out and still make it to the theater and the cast party after, right?
Right. Now, where is the celebration?
So she looks up at me with these big cow eyes of hers and says, "Now, tell me the truth, Andy. Am I the first girl you ever...
Andy.
Am I the first girl you ever kissed?" And I said, "I don't know, honey. Were you in a motel room in Albuquerque about 6 years ago?"
If she was, she would have remembered.
Hey, where's the champagne?
Champagne? Where's the dancing girl? Dancing girl? They took one look at you and they went home. I bet your old lady don't even know you're out tonight. She sure does, and so does my wife.
Listen, I don't think the kids are having such a good time.
They certainly are.
Well, as soon as cake's served, we'll let them go. You know, you and I have got a lot of talking to do, little B. Tomorrow, we're going to drop the lid on a stuck-up little fella named Preston Halsey. Now, he thinks he can scare me. But I tell you, if we work this right, we're going to be rich.
Here she comes!
Well,
for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, that nobody can deny.
Well, now isn't that nice? You know, if I'd known I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself.
Andy, not yet. First the cake, then the toast, then you can drink.
Seems like a lot of trouble for just a drink of champagne.
Make a wish, Andy.
Oh, yes.
the onions. Those dreadful creamed onions.
Beatrice, try and relax. Honestly, you have to expect things like this when you get on in years. Well, I mean, that many years.
Doctor.
Are you Beatrice McMillan?
Yes, I am.
He wants to speak to you, but only for a few moments. He's been sedated.
How is he?
I don't want to alarm Mrs. McMillan.
Well, he is going to be all right.
I think so. It's just that his collapse may not have been from natural causes.
What?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm not going to say anything prematurely. I'll call you in the morning after the lab tests are in.
B?
It's all right, Andy.
Coat pocket. Envelope. Be strong. Be. Don't sell. No matter what. Don't sell. Worth millions. Secret. Secret.
Doctor.
He's just asleep.
Oh.
What's the matter, man?
I don't know. Mother, I guess. Coming home and dashing off to bed like that, it's not like her.
Oh, she's just tired.
She's not that tired. She's up to something.
What was that?
A noise?
I know it was a noise. You're not going down there. Mac, don't you watch television? You're supposed to call the police.
I am the police.
I don't mean that. This is no time to be a hero.
Shh.
Hands up or shoot!
You scared the hell out of me.
Well, I heard these noises down here, and I didn't know what to do about it.
It wasn't me.
Well, it wasn't me. Oh.
Mother.
Stuart, you frightened me.
Oh, you McMillan sure scare easy.
What are you doing down here?
Looking for something in all this old stuff I've been storing here for years. Here it is. I knew it would be here somewhere. Must be 75 years old.
The Kennebec Alfalfa Corporation?
Your grandfather's company, Stuart. Oh, I'm sure I've told you.
No.
He and Andy were business partners. Kennesaw, McMillan, Kennebec.
No, you never told me.
And tonight, Andy gave me his proxy for 1,000 shares. Tomorrow, I'm going to go to the stockholders' meeting, and I'm going to vote not to sell.
Not to sell what?
Our shares, I presume.
Listen, if anybody offers you $1.87, I'd grab it.
Mother, let me get this clear. Tomorrow morning...
At 11 o'clock?
You're going to a meeting with this musty, worthless certificate and vote not to sell 1,100 shares of a company that's been forgotten over 75 years?
Oh, dear. It does sound kind of foolish, doesn't it? But I have a wonderful idea, Stuart. You could come with me. Oh, you'd be such a help. I just know it.
Well, I'd like to, Mother, but tomorrow I've got a lot of work to do.
Sure you have.
Maybe Mrs. McMillan can go.
I intend to, Muriel.
She means Sally, Mother.
Oh, do you think she would? Oh, it'd be so nice for us to have some time together.
Oh, she'd love to. I'm sure of it.
Poison?
A minute amount of cyanide. Not enough to kill him, But right now he's in a coma, and it's getting deeper.
Oh, no. All right, thank you, Doctor.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Somebody tried to poison that sweet old man.
Sir?
Yes, sir?
Get me the precinct commander in Daly City. Andy Kennesaw. Somebody poisoned his champagne. Mother stopped him before he could drink the whole glass.
Sir, I'd be glad to help out on that investigation. I've got a very light schedule today.
Good.
If you could just swing a replacement for me tonight.
Replacement?
Well, I've been asked to give a speech at the police academy tonight on the importance of proper reporting procedures in felony investigations, and frankly, sir,
Oh, no, you can't. Daly City has jurisdiction.
Sir, you've got to let me. Please. Well, I'm a man of action, not of words, and this speech has got me tied up in knots. My hands are shaking.
You'll do just fine.
What if my knees knock?
Wear a baggy suit.
Will that help?
No, you'll do just fine. Listen, do you know anything about the stock market?
Well, I do own a few odd lots, blue chip stocks mostly.
You ever heard of Kennebec Alfalfa Corporation?
No, sir. Is it listed on the big board?
I don't think it's listed anywhere. Would you check it out?
Well, I don't know if my stockbroker is into that issue, but I'll find out what he knows, sir.
Very good.
Would you like to hear it now?
What?
My speech.
The Kennebec Alfalfa Corporation. Yes?
Captain Jameson of Daly City on the line, sir.
Thank you. Captain, good morning. Listen, we got an attempted murder on your FWV hall last night. Would you check it out and keep me posted? And put a guard in the hospital, huh?
Looks like you were right, Mr. Halsey. Small turnout. We'll get through this without any trouble.
Oh, I expect we're going to hear from Leibowitz.
We can handle him.
My daughter-in-law was supposed to come with me today, but she's home, recovering from an upset stomach.
The annual stockholders' meeting of the Kennebec Alfalfa Corporation will now come to order.
Poor girl, these things come on her so suddenly. But she did so want to be here with me today.
Yes, ma'am.
Will now come to order.
Oh, excuse me, Your Honor. Go right ahead.
Thank you. We'll dispense with the previous minutes because that meeting was in 1926 and nothing much happened anyway. So we'll come directly to the point. I guess most of you know Mr. Preston Halsey and why he's here. Harvest Foods, whom Mr. Halsey represents, has offered to trade 1 share of Harvest Food stock, which is worth almost $60, for 1 share of Kennebec Alfalfa. Now, seeing as how we haven't declared a stock dividend since 1909, I'd say that's a very handsome offer.
I should like to ask a question.
Yes, Mrs.
Beatrice McMillan. I should like to ask why. Why this person is offering us so much money if our shares aren't worth anything.
May I respond to that, Amos?
Why don't you let me tell her, Halsey?
You're out of order.
They're trying to steal my property from me, Mrs. McMillan, that's why.
It is not your property, Mr. Leibowitz.
Happy Howard, Slightly Used Cars, has been doing business on that property for the past 16 years.
But the property is only leased.
You see what they do when you're just a little guy? Halsey here wants to put up a packaging plant to make that lousy breakfast cereal. Acres and acres of land for sale all over the country, but no, they gotta come after me. And as soon as he gets control of the stock, he tosses me and the cars right out on the street.
Mr. Leibowitz, nothing has been decided.
You had that land rezoned, didn't you? You and that bird-brained zoning commissioner.
So we'll make an arrangement.
My foot. It's taken me 16 years to convince the public that I really am honest. You know how tough that is when you're in my business. Nobody comes on my property, nobody. If I have to barricade the place and chase you off with a shotgun.
You're out of order, Leibowitz.
Yeah, sit down and be quiet. Let's get on with the vote.
Yeah, we're out of order, Leibowitz.
Be
If
sure
you
of that.
don't restrain yourself, I'll have you bodily removed, Mr. Leibowitz.
By who?
By me.
Down to be quiet.
Gentlemen, behave yourselves. Grown men acting like children, especially you, young man, trying to intimidate poor Mr. Leibowitz here. You ought to be ashamed. Now, I don't know what the rest of you are going to do, But I have a proxy here for 1,000 shares. And 100 shares of my own. And I am going to vote not to sell.
Now you're out of order, Mrs. McMillan.
We've got all the votes we need. I've got 500 shares myself. My grandfather has another 500.
And I've got 50 shares.
I've got 100.
And I control 1,000, Mrs. McMillan. So as you can see, the outcome is pretty well determined.
That's right. We just want to vote and get out of here. I got to go to work.
Now, hold on just a doggone minute. First off, where I come from, we treat our women folk like ladies. And you people have been downright rude to this young lady this morning. And another thing, why are we so all fired anxious to get this beef to market before we even know if it's been fatted enough?
What is that supposed to mean?
That means a sheep is not a sheep when it smells like a coyote, and I smell me a flock of coyote in this room.
Now, just a second, cowboy.
Now, this young lady here asked why Harvest Foods was willing to pay $60 a share for this company. And I don't believe I heard anybody giving her a straight answer. So it seems to me, if Mr. Halsey here is willing to pay $60 a share, he might even be willing to pay $80, even $100 a share. And just for the record, I've got over 1,700 shares and proxies, and all 1,700 are with Miss McMillan here. I vote no.
You're out of order. You're out of order.
I appreciate the way you two went to bat for me.
Oh, matter of principle, Mr. Leibowitz. Did you notice Mr. Halsey? He bites his lower lip. Very, very nervous man.
Can I drop you somewhere?
No, thanks. I got me a rented car.
Oh, isn't this lovely?
Well, my daddy gave it to me the day before he died. Didn't look like much then, but I put a few dollars into her.
You know, I don't think we've heard the end of those fellas in there.
Well, I warned them.
Buck's right, Mr. Leibowitz. But violence is not the answer. What we need to do is to bring your case to the public eye. The idea of a huge company like Harvest Foods trying to swallow you up.
Mrs. McMillan, people don't generally care a whole lot for used car dealers. They think we're all crooks.
Are you a crook, Mr. Leibowitz?
I never cheated a customer in my life, and that's a fact.
I believe you, sir. In fact, I have bought many fine cars in my life from people in your business.
Thank you. I don't know what you got in mind, but I'm with you all the way.
Allow me. I don't know what you got in mind either, ma'am, but I'd be honored to buy you lunch and discuss it.
Well, as my daughter would say, Mr. McCord, right on. We can work out our plan of attack.
Not a very productive meeting, Tolliver.
Who knew about the old lady?
And Mr. McCord. You said there was going to be no trouble.
Look, the stockholder records are very old. We couldn't locate everybody.
I don't want to hear excuses, all right?
Well, how do you think I feel? 500 shares at $60 a share. I've got $30,000 on the line.
You're going to have more than that in the line if you blow this.
Believe me, Mr. Halsey, I want this merger to work more than you do.
All right. I want another meeting in 10 days.
Well, I don't know if we can do that.
It's all legal and proper. Check your charter, paragraph 11. And I promise you, the next time, the outcome is going to be different. I'll find those other stockholders, and I'm going to bury that old biddy and that cowboy in proxies. They've started something here they're not going to be able to finish.
Where to, sir?
City Hall. We better have a talk with Edgar Winfield.
Dr. Fraser.
Commissioner, how is he? No better, I'm afraid.
Is he conscious yet?
He's gone deeper into the coma. It's no longer a question of poison. That just started the problem. Man his age, it doesn't take much.
I was hoping to talk to him.
What about his granddaughter? She's in the room with him. Name's Jill.
Jill, thank you. Excuse me, you Jill?
Yes,
May I come in?
of course.
You don't know me.
Oh,
I'm
but I
Commissioner.
do know you, Commissioner. Grandpa's talked about you a lot.
Oh, he has?
Grandson of John T. McMillan.
Mm-hmm.
Why would anyone want to kill him, Commissioner?
I'm going to find out, Jill. And everybody calls me Mac. Did your grandfather ever mention to you about some stock he owns in Kennemac Alfalfa Corporation?
No.
Do you mind if I look through that?
No, not at all. Sure like to meet your mom.
Hmm?
Grandpa talks about her all the time. Busy Bee. That's what he calls
Busy
her.
Bee.
Yeah, he says it's short for busybody. But I don't think he means it.
Jill, about 4 days ago, your grandfather had an appointment at City Hall, room 348 at 2:30. Do you know anything about it?
I wouldn't know. I don't live with him. I mean, I visit him a lot, but what he does and who he sees, I guess I've been ignoring him a lot lately.
I think he's going to be fine. Do you mind if I keep this?
No, not at all.
Listen, if you have nothing to do tonight, why don't you come by the house? Meet my mother and maybe have dinner with her.
Thanks. I'm getting pretty tired of egg salad sandwiches. It's the only thing I know how to make.
Wait till she shows you her recipe for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Commissioner. There you are, sir. We've been trying to locate you.
What?
It's your mother, sir.
She's not hurt.
Oh, no, sir. Nothing like that. But you know the old expression, you can't fight City Hall? Well, I don't think your mother ever heard it.
I have no intention of taking a flying leap, young man, and I'll thank you to show more respect.
Well, lady, I'm telling you, there's nothing I can do.
Now, come on, lady, let's go.
Look, would you leave her alone?
My
Look,
lunch,
you want
young
to
man.
sit outside?
It's all very simple. I need a permit to picket.
You're not a union.
I am a citizen.
You want a parade permit? Swell. 5 days waiting period. You want to make a speech? You'll need a speech permit. That's the pink form, 3 days, and you got to have it signed by the mayor.
Now, look here, partner, look here. Now, why don't you just give the lady what she wants and make us all happy, huh?
What makes you think that you can buy a city official for $10?
Oh, he's right, Buck. Give him 20.
Lady, I've had it. I'm going to lunch. The counter is closed. You can wait here all day for all I care.
What seems to be the trouble here, Perkins?
Yes, Commissioner, it's this woman.
Yes, well, I'll handle it. Right this way, Mrs.
Stewart!
Yes, right this way, Mrs. Stewart.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sergeant Enright, and I'd be glad to help you in any way that I can. But as a devoted public servant, I must honestly say to you that there is absolutely nothing that I can do for you.
Excuse me.
Buck, this is my son, though you'd never know it from the way he treats me.
Your voice down.
Buck McCord, sir.
Can you tell me what she's trying to talk
Careful, Buck. He's a cop. Power mad, you know?
Oh, Mrs. McMillan, that is your mother here. We're fixing to protest the acquisition of this little used car lot by Harvest Foods. You see, they're trying to buy up this alfalfa company.
And that ridiculous little man in there won't give us a permit.
Well, if this place is on Long Valley Road, in the first place, you don't need a permit. It's an unincorporated area. Now, in the second place, it's none of you...
Isn't that wonderful, Buck? Oh, thank you, Stuart. That's absolutely wonderful.
Mother, just a moment. Excuse me. Now, you listen to me.
Don't you shake your finger at your mother.
Somebody tried to kill Andy last night because he was trying to stop the merger of two companies. I think one is a direct result of the other.
It's possible.
Now, you and are trying to pick up the gauntlet. What happens if they focus on you?
And who is they, Stuart?
I don't know.
Of course you don't. Look, you're a dear son, but I came halfway around the world because an old friend needed me, and I'm not going to let him down.
Mother,
Now, let me finish. A terrible injustice is being perpetrated by an awful little man named Preston Halsey, by him and that dreadful cereal company. And he wanted that merger stopped, and we're going to stop it.
You can't.
I've been around a lot longer than you, and I know this much. If you start letting people walk all over you, you'll become everybody's doormat. I haven't started yet, and I don't intend to start now.
You listen.
See you tonight for dinner. And don't be late. I'm cooking.
Hello, Mac.
Short day, Edgar?
Just taking some paperwork home. Too nice a day to spend around here.
How's the new Mrs. Winfield?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. She's picked me up any minute. What can I do for you?
Tell me about Andy Kennesaw.
Who?
Andrew Kennesaw. Old man, 90 years old.
Never heard of him.
You never heard of the Kennemac Alfalfa Corporation?
Sorry.
Come on, Edgar. This slip was found in Andy's wallet. It has your office number on it.
What are you accusing my husband of, Matt?
Oh, it's all right, dear.
I thought we'd heard the last of those charges. Bribery, favoritism. Edgar was cleared.
I know that.
But you don't believe it.
What does it matter? He was cleared, wasn't he?
Then why are you here asking these questions?
Somebody was almost killed last night.
And you think Edgar may be involved? From bribery to attempted murder, what next?
Oh, it's enough, Liza. Mac's only doing his job.
When are you going to leave him alone?
Look, Mac, dozens of people come in here every day. There are crackpots and cranks of every description. He could have been in here, but I really don't remember the man or this Alfalfa Corporation. Now, if you'll excuse us.
Sorry to bother you.
The interrogating officer must lead the murder victim, murder witness, to a description of the crime, oftentimes through subtle techniques. The experienced officer, however, needs no instruction in Hello? Oh, yes, Commissioner.
Am I interrupting anything?
Sir, as a matter of fact,
Good. What did you find out about Kennemac Alfalfa?
Oh, no. Sir, it completely slipped my mind. I'm sorry. You see, I have this speech tonight.
All right. Get on it first thing in the morning, will you? Oh, and while you're at it, see what you can find out about a man named Preston Halsey, an employee for Harvest Foods.
Commissioner, I'd be very happy to get started on Preston Halsey right now. I mean, as soon as you phone the academy and tell them I can't make it tonight.
No, tomorrow's fine.
Sir, it's really no problem.
Oh, and dig up that file on Edgar Winfield. The stuff the grand jury looked at a few months ago.
But, Commissioner, I can give that speech any old time.
No, tomorrow's fine. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, fellow officers. You've probably been asking yourself, when I get my first felony investigation, and I put that triplicate carbon pack form into the typewriter, will I measure up?
Now, gentlemen, please. I can recommend goulash, ragu, roast lamb, or alfalfa.
Don't get cute, friend.
Easy, Jed.
Mr. Halsey's made you a very fine offer.
Yes, so he has $120 a share for worthless stock.
Okay, how much do you want?
I cannot sell you what I do not own, sir.
What?
I've been trying to tell you my stock. I sold it this afternoon for twice what you offered me.
Sold it to whom?
Stockbroker, acting for somebody else. It was a condition of the sale that I do not reveal his name. Now, may I recommend the turtle soup?
Check the car dealer, Leibowitz. Is he behind it? If not, has he been approached to sell?
Yes, sir.
Waiter's not talking, but the intermediary. It's got to be a recognized broker. So put out some feelers. Say you've got Kenemac stock to sell. See if we get a bite.
Right. What do you think, Mr. Halsey?
Well, the odds are it's the old lady and the cowboy. But who knows? Maybe we're getting quick pitched by our friend Mr. Winfield.
Mr. Halsey?
Yeah? Yes.
I'm Stuart McMillan. Mind if I sit down? Thank you.
You're quite welcome. McMillan. You related to,
She's my mother.
I tell you, you don't have to apologize for her.
I don't apologize for anybody, Mr. Halsey, particularly my mother.
Can I get you a drink?
What's your involvement with Edgar Winfield?
Winfield.
The man whose office you went to last Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That Winfield.
Mr. McMillan, are you by any chance a stockbroker?
Police commissioner.
Oh, you're that, McMillan.
What's your involvement with Edgar Winfield and the Kenemac Alfalfa Corporation?
Well, it's very simple. See, we want to put up a plant on property owned by the Alfalfa Company and leased to Howard Leibowitz. He's a used car dealer. Now, Mr. Winfield, he has agreed to rezone. All I've got to do is acquire the land. See, I buy the land for more than it's worth. Everybody comes out a winner.
Except Andy Kennesaw.
I don't know.
He was going to stand in the way of the stock purchases. Somebody tried to poison him.
Oh, Commissioner. What do I look like, a common thug? Listen, Harvest Foods is a gigantic corporation. And because of tax advantages, we can pay more for that land than it's worth. But if your mother persists in preventing this merger, why, you know, we can go someplace else and nobody gets anything. Now, why don't you tell her to think about that?
Who's got the red paint?
There's plenty of it on the carpet. Maybe you could scrape it up and use it again.
I need some more staples for these poles here.
Oh, wait a minute.
That's very nice, dear. I've never seen a green and yellow eagle before.
That's not an eagle, that's a vulture.
Oh, yes, of course. Ah, Jill, it's so nice you could come over this evening.
Well, it's nice to be here.
Ah, good. Stuart, there you are.
Hi, Commissioner.
Look, everybody here. Stuart, we've been so worried about you.
Oh, I had to meet someone.
We've just been swamped, and you have such an artistic flair. I've been telling everyone how you painted the Thanksgiving turkey all by yourself when you were in the 3rd grade.
Now, Mother, let's talk. I am not going to paint. I am too tired and too hungry.
Oh, goodness. Well, I'll heat you up some dinner. Nobody was very hungry, so there's plenty left.
Yes, we practically have our own soup kitchen.
Where's Sally?
Oh, Lord only knows. I'm going to bring you a hot plate, and I'll put a little orange sauce on the boiled octopus.
Are you all right?
I feel very calm about it now.
Well, I know how you feel, but it'll be over soon.
Oh, I know. That's why I think I'll just stay up here in my room and meditate.
When we were married, it was for better or for worse.
Mac, I love Beatrice. Really, I do. It's just that sometimes your mother can be a little... Well, she's your mother.
What she is a lovely lady who is genuinely interested in the welfare of the people around her.
True. That's true.
And right now, she's got this thing about Harvest Foods.
Yes. Well, I've got this thing about not leaving my room.
You know, she's so naive, she thinks that a handful of people can bring a huge corporation like that to its knees. You and I both know that's ridiculous. You know yourself what they're doing, raising the price of the cereal to 79 cents, and why not? When you're that big, nobody really counts, particularly people like you and me and my mother.
Now, wait a minute, Mac.
Okay, so she's downstairs painting a few signs. So what? Who's it gonna hurt? Then she'll go out and march around with her friends and get laughed at. Well, it's sticks and stones that break your bones.
It's still a free country, Mac.
Sure it is. And if you don't like Harvest Foods, you don't have to buy it. Not that Harvest Foods really gives a damn, because there's plenty of people still around that sit there and don't do anything or say anything.
All right. Stop. All right, I'm going downstairs. I'm going to paint.
That's my girl. Now, if you wanted to really help, you keep an eye on her.
What is it, Mac?
I don't know. There's something screwy going on. I think she's in the middle of something she can't handle. And I'd feel better if you were with her.
Is this the part the minister was talking about, for better or for worse?
Something like that.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, Commissioner, this is not the for better part.
Yeah?
You're a troublemaker, Mr. Leibowitz. We don't like troublemakers.
Huh? Who is this?
Some of us have a lot of money tied up in this merger. We don't want to see anything go wrong.
Hey, who is this?
Play ball. When you find yourself playing a game you can't win. Now, we can get you, get the old lady, get any of you. Anytime, any place. If you don't believe me, take a look out the window at your garage.
No.
No. What do you mean, no?
I said no. No picketing, no demonstrations, no nothing.
But how do you expect to win this fight if you don't fight?
Mrs. McMillan, I quit. I give up. They can have my cars, my showroom, my brochures, the towels in the men's room.
Mr. Happy, or whatever your name is, we came down here just for you.
I appreciate that more than you know, but I just can't fight them anymore.
You mean they've gotten to you, as it were?
First thing this morning, I sold my stock in the Alfalfa Corporation. I phoned in an ad to the paper. I called my attorney. Then I sent a wire to my son in Miami. He should get a room ready. Now, that's it. So unless you want to buy a car, may I ask you, please, to vacate my premises?
Ladies, it's obvious the enemy has declared war. And our man, Mr. Leibowitz, is the first casualty. Therefore, I think we should counter with a frontal attack and hit Harvest Foods head on. Downtown.
Beatrice, you mean the new headquarters building? This is Saturday.
Well, what difference? Maybe we can block a little traffic or something.
We haven't got a permit.
Ladies, to our cars.
Good luck.
Commissioner, you scared the wits out of me.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking for Sergeant Mulder.
Oh, I'm Sergeant Mulder. Lorraine G. Mulder. Shield number 2371.
Oh, it's nice to see you.
Oh, well, maybe I ought to put my badge on.
Oh, that won't be... Now, be careful.
Well, since I'm not in uniform, maybe I should. Does that look all right?
Oh, yes, it looks just fine. I don't think anybody will miss it.
Oh. Oh, I've got almost all the stuff you asked for, sir. I'll have this typewritten, and these are copies of the documents. The Kennemac Alfalfa Corporation, it was chartered in 1901, and the principal officers were Andrew Kennesaw and John T. McMillan. Is that any relation, sir?
Yes, my grandfather.
Oh. Oh, well, the purpose of the company was to engage in research and development for new uses of alfalfa. But we don't cross-file any copies of patents or copyrights. Those would have shown up if the company had made any significant discoveries.
And these?
Deeds, title searches, tax reports. See, the company still owns a few small parcels of land in and around the Bay Area. You know, an acre here, a few acres there. I think there are about 6 in all. Well, see, our records are just a little incomplete because of the '06 earthquake.
This little parcel of land is where the used car lot is on.
Oh, right. That's leased to Howard Leibowitz. It's a mixed residential zone, R2.
Thank you, Sergeant. I hate to call you in on a Saturday morning like this.
Oh, that's no problem at all, sir. I'm studying for the lieutenant's exam. I hope to be made a captain by the time I'm 30. If I can get somebody to notice me.
I don't think that will be a major problem. Thank you. Good luck.
Yeah.
Beatrice, how long are we supposed to keep this up?
As long as it takes, Sally dear. You really should have worn flats.
I don't think anybody is noticing us.
No? Then what's he doing here? Come, come, ladies, move smartly. We have an audience.
Come in.
Tom. Sorry I took so long.
Never mind all that, Preston. What are those people doing down there? I came in on a Saturday morning to catch up on my work, and I'm confronted by a bunch of women babbling something about alfalfa.
I believe I memoed you on the 1st regarding our plans to acquire the Kennemac Alfalfa Corporation. You see, they control the acreage that we've scouted for the new packaging plant.
Wasn't there some zoning problem there?
I worked that out with the zoning commissioner, Mr. Winfield.
Well, that's all just fine, Preston, but what's it got to do with the parade by my front door?
Well, in matters like this, there's always a couple of cranks, but I wouldn't worry you about it because they're not going to be there that long.
Now, look, we've got enough troubles with the public already. If it isn't short waiting, it's mislabeling or price fixing and who knows what else. Now, if this alfalfa company acquisition is going to mean that kind of publicity, I want no part of it. Just forget it. Find someplace else for the plant.
Tom, that site is ideal.
I don't care. We're here to sell cereal. America loves sweet treats and frisky flakes, and they're going to keep on loving them.
May I use your phone to call the police?
Police? That's the last thing I want down there.
Well, actually, I've already called the police, but it might not be too late to keep them away.
Wrong, Preston. It is too late.
What's the occasion, ladies?
Equal rights for all.
Terrific. Now, who's in charge of this festival of indignation?
No one's in charge, officer. This is a spontaneous protest against the monopolistic powers of big business.
May I see your permit?
The issue is clear-cut, officer. A giant corporation on the one hand, a helpless small business on the other.
You don't have a permit, right? Okay, then it's time to break it up, girls. time to go home to our husbands and our children.
What is that supposed to mean?
You got a home to go to, lady?
Do you?
Look, you gotta have something better to do than to march around here all day.
Oh, like wash the dishes and scrub the floors, right?
Now you got it.
Oh, officer. Sergeant, is it Sergeant?
Sergeant?
Yes. Sergeant, you're a man of steel. From the neck up.
That's telling him, Sally.
As a matter of fact, I don't think I'll be leaving here at all unless you drag me away.
Come on, girl. Stamp of harvest. Stamp
Okay, boys, that's it. Let's bring them in.
Ladies.
Oh, ladies. Ladies. Let's remember, we're ladies.
I think it's only fair to warn you, officer, I'm Police Commissioner McMillan's wife.
Yeah. And I suppose the old biddy's his mother, huh?
Isn't that lovely? He recognized me.
Oh, Commissioner, good morning.
Morning, Charlie. How are you?
Never felt better, sir.
Down last time I saw you.
Oh, I guess you might call those the pre-performance jitters. You know what they say, sir. If you're not nervous, you don't give your best. And if I may say so, sir, I was a mild sensation last night. My speech, sir. My speech to the Academy boys on the importance of proper reporting procedures in felony investigations.
Oh, yes.
In fact, Commissioner, I was so successful that they've invited me back in 2 weeks to talk on the subject of care and maintenance of police property.
Well, before you go running off writing another speech, did you find out anything more on Winfield's activities vis-a-vis Andy Kennesaw?
Yes, sir, I sure did. Now, you remember Maggie, the file clerk in Winfield's office. Well, at your suggestion, sir, I invited her out last night and took her with me to the police academy. And if I may say so, sir, she was very impressed also with my ability to appear
Did you find out
spontaneous and
anything more on Winfield's activities vis-a-vis Andy Kennesaw?
Yes, sir. Well, according to Maggie, your friend Andy visited the office about 4 days ago. Now, she didn't hear what they said, but, well, they were making an awful lot of noise, sir.
You mean they had a fight?
Well, it seemed like a fight, because Kennesaw stormed out of the office. And then Winfield got on the phone right away to Preston Halsey. Now, does that make any sense, sir?
I think I'll pay a little unofficial visit to Winfield's office.
You want me to go with you, Commissioner?
No, I'll go alone. I can't quite put my finger on it, but something strange is going on. I'll give you a call.
Sergeant, be a dear, will you? There's some very nice reporters out there, and I'd like them to take a few pictures when you slap me in irons. Favoritism, that's all it was. If I'd been anybody else's mother, I'd have been locked up by now.
And with good reason.
Oh, Stuart, stop behaving like an archbishop.
Sally, you were there. Why didn't you stop her?
Because your mother was absolutely right.
About what? My wife and my mother hauled into a police station, nearly booked on a charge of disorderly conduct?
Nonsense. We were very orderly, weren't we, Sally?
It was that bullheaded sergeant.
Stuart, you really ought to do something about your health.
It was a peaceful demonstration.
Now that's enough from both of you. Thank you. Now I want you to listen very carefully. You two ladies, and I use the term loosely, are going home. I want you to stay at home. You can do needlepoint, you can play canasta. You can even invite some friends in for tea. Mother, you can even cook. But under no circumstances will I allow you two to meddle in this case any longer. Andy Kennesaw was poisoned. He almost died. He still might die, considering his age. There's a lot of muscle being applied to make this merger work. And when there's a lot of muscle applied, someone can get hurt. It will not be either of you. Is that clear?
Are you placing me under house arrest?
Of course not.
Then, in a word, Stuart, bug off.
That's 2 words, Beatrice.
2 words. I have not survived for 61 years.
61?
More or less. By retreating into my shell like a wounded turtle. We still have a First Amendment. And as long as I have a breath left, Preston Halsey is not going to get the best of me. And that's a promise.
Did you ever notice how much you and your mother look alike when you dig your heels in?
but I can handle myself in a tight corner.
Oh, Mac, I would not underestimate your mother.
We are talking about attempted murder. Harvest Foods wants that alfalfa corporation. They'll stop at nothing to get it. Look what happened to Andy.
You can't be serious.
I am very serious. In the last 24 hours, I talked with Edgar Winfield and Preston Halsey. Now, whatever is going on, they are two very desperate men. Now, I can't stop my own mother. She won't even listen to me, but maybe she'll listen to you.
Oh, that would be a first.
Will you give it a try?
No guarantees.
It's a deal.
Is this any way for a police commissioner to act at 11 o'clock in the morning?
You want to try me at 11 o'clock tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Winfield, please. Commissioner McMillan.
Sorry, Commissioner. He's at his club this morning playing golf, just like he always does.
Which club is that?
Oak Tree. You know Oak Tree?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Oh, Mac, what a lovely surprise.
Liza?
I was going to call you. I'm sorry about yesterday.
Oh, that's all right.
I guess you still look at me as Edgar's secretary.
Of course not.
I shouldn't have said the things I did. It's just that Edgar and I, we've been under so much pressure lately.
I'm on my way to talk to him.
Won't you come in for coffee?
No, thanks. I'd better see if I can catch him.
Okay.
In and out. In and out.
Still 3 putts, Edgar.
Look, for 18 feet, that wasn't bad. Now, if you'd only come up with par...
Hey, don't complain about my game. You know, I'm not the one who shot 102.
Vodka tonic, vodka tonic, screwdriver.
And a Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary.
Thank you, and hurry back.
Okay, excuse me, gentlemen.
Well, here's sand in your bunker.
Good luck.
Back, please.
I'm Commissioner McMillan.
Oh, Commissioner, I'm Dr. Joshua Tuttle.
What happened?
Andy was having a drink, and he just collapsed. He's dead.
1 second he was laughing, and the next second, zap. I've never seen anything like it.
Which is his drink?
That one right there.
Oh, nurse, I'm Beatrice McMillan, about Mr. Kennesaw.
Yes?
Well, Dr. Fraser called. He said his condition is improved.
He's improved, Miss McMillan, but he isn't allowed any visitors.
Oh, well, who was that?
I beg your pardon?
Well, some man just walked out of his room. Didn't look like Dr. Fraser.
Well, I don't know. There shouldn't be anyone in there. Young lady, I can't permit you to disturb the patient. You can't go in there. Grandpa? Code blue, 234 West. Code blue. Stand back.
Andy, again?
But no need to worry, Stuart. He's all right.
Well, what about the guards?
Well, he had to step down the hall for a minute.
Why?
Well, even guards have to step down the hall for a minute.
Oh,
Some man dressed as a doctor or an orderly went in there and shut off the oxygen. I got a look at him from the back, but just for a second. It could have been anybody.
Oh, nonsense. It was Preston Halsey. We all know it.
Who's down there now watching to see it doesn't happen a third time?
I had some presence of mind, thank you. I ordered a private nurse to be in the room around the clock. I'm sure it's covered by Medisic or whatever it is you call it. Now, Stuart, I think it's high time that Preston Halsey was brought in, as you say, and made to talk.
Mother, you just don't go around arresting people on supposition.
Nonsense. It's done all the time.
Why don't you make some coffee or something?
Well, I thought you didn't like my coffee.
I adore your coffee.
Well, all right. I'll call you the minute it's ready. How do you want it cooked? Black?
I think that would be the best way, Beatrice. You must be pretty desperate to get her out of the room if you're willing to drink her coffee.
Edgar Winfield's dead.
What?
Poison.
Poisoned?
Mm-hmm. Cyanide. Same kind used on Andy at the party.
Why? For some lousy little company that nobody's ever heard of or cares about?
Somebody cares.
I'll see about Mrs. Olson. You get the door.
Jill.
Mac, I'm so sorry.
Come on in.
I should have come to you right from the start.
Come sit down. What is it?
A few weeks ago, Grandpa gave me this. He said that if he was to die suddenly, I was supposed to give it to you. Well, when he was poisoned, but then he survived, I didn't know what to do. I mean, I couldn't ask him. So I just held on to it. Oh, Mac, I'm such a fool.
Easy now, easy.
Well, this doesn't make any sense, Mac. Mac. I hate to disrupt your obvious fascination with Timmy Tyrone's exploits, but I don't understand this. All right, you've got an alfalfa company. They're involved in research and development. But of what? Alfalfa?
Mm-hmm.
What's the big deal? They got a couple of little pieces of property. 2 acres here, 4 acres there. It's crazy.
Well, I don't understand this.
What? Timmy Tyrone didn't help his team to win the pennant?
I've gone through this entire book looking for a clue. With the exception of 3 dog-eared pages, there's nothing particularly important, no underlining, nothing.
Maybe Andy had a note in there and it just fell out of the book.
Somebody is running around willing to pay up to $150 for Kenemax stock. Stop at nothing to get it.
Right, we know that.
Now, assuming the stockholders could be found, there are 10,000 shares. Now, at $150 per share, someone has to pay out $1.5 million. Now, by no stretch of the imagination is Happy Howard's used car lot worth 1/10 that much.
Well, there's got to be another reason.
Right.
Something important enough to kill Edgar Winfield and attempt to kill Andy twice.
Right.
Well, look what time it is. 11 o'clock. Remember?
Huh?
Forget it. Let's just go to bed. Maybe we'll get the right combination tomorrow.
That's it.
What? Where?
Here. You just said it. Andy was trying to tell us something. Look at the title.
Safe at home.
Mm-hmm. Now say it very literally.
He's safe at home. He's got a safe at home.
Now, the 3 dog-eared pages. 3, 11, and 21.
The combination.
Right. Now, look here. How Timmy Tyrone bought the team from the cellar.
The cellar. We're looking for the safe in the basement.
We?
Wait.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
You are going to bed.
Oh, no.
Sally?
Oh, yes. Are you sure this is legal, man?
I'll check in the morning. Where's the lights?
I don't know.
Here.
Oh, God. I wonder who his decorator is.
Sally.
Oh.
I am going first.
Now, if a bat goes by me, I'm going to scream.
There are no bats down here.
Ah! Bat just flew right by my head.
Ah, it's a light.
Oh. I don't see any safe, do you?
Probably him.
Oh, I'm gonna stay around here and find it.
You can wait in the car.
Oh, no. Let you take all the credit? Now, If I was Andy Kennesaw and I wanted to hide a safe where nobody could find it, where would I hide it? Behind a furnace. No, it was lit, it would get too hot. Behind a painting. They always put them behind a painting. Hot. Hidden behind a bookcase.
Sally.
I told you.
Huh.
What is it? Mag.
Well, it's a diary of some kind. Experiment. This could be the motive.
What?
Well, it seems that Grandfather and Andy were experimenting with the various strains of alfalfa, trying to develop a hybrid strain with the taste and nutrition of wheat.
Oh, I didn't know that was possible.
I don't know. But if it is, think what it means. No grain shortage, cheap wheat substitute. Could be a major breakthrough.
Well, no wonder Harvest Foods is trying to take over that little company. That has to be it.
I think Mr. Preston Halsey and I will have a nice little chat.
Don't turn around. I have a gun.
Mac.
Do what he says.
Don't move. Hold up the papers with your left hand and don't move.
What did you do? Follow us to Kennesaw's house?
You're wasting your time, Commissioner. I'm not saying a word until I see my lawyer.
Stuart, what is going on here? Why have you arrested Buck? He's a dear boy who has been helping Sally and me.
Mother, Buck is a dear boy who's been using you. He is not from Texas, and I doubt if he knows which end of the cow the milk comes out of.
What?
William G. McCord of Grand Rapids, Michigan, an employee of All-American Breakfast Foods. A wolf in blue suede jacket.
You mean he's an industrial spy?
Who may be guilty of the murder of Edgar Winfield and the attempted murder of Andy Kennesaw.
Now, come on, Commissioner. You don't believe that.
Maybe, maybe not.
All right. Look, a couple of weeks ago, my company learned that Preston Halsey was trying to acquire Kennebec alfalfa. Now, it seemed absurd, but Preston Halsey is one of the brightest people in the business.
And you came out here incognito to compete with Harvest Foods for control of the company?
Yes.
Then you're the one who's been buying up the stock through that broker.
I'm afraid so, Mrs. McMillan. We figured if Harvest Foods was interested, we'd better be too.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but you're wasting your time. It seems that Harvest Foods was interested in the long-lost formula. We had it analyzed this morning. Worthless.
You mean Andy's company isn't worth anything?
No, the formula isn't worth anything.
No, it certainly isn't. We discarded those theories 40 years ago. And why is Halsey trying to buy up this little company?
Maybe he doesn't know the formula's worthless. Now, where were you last Saturday between 11 o'clock and 2 p.m. when Edgar Winfield was poisoned and a second attempt made on Andy Kennesaw?
Oh, now, Stuart.
I was in Sacramento. I was checking out an old address of a stockholder. Except now there's nothing there but an old tennis court, and so I guess if you're looking for an alibi, Commissioner, I don't have one.
All right, you're free to go. But don't leave the city unless you check with us.
Thanks, Mrs. McMillan.
That was very magnanimous of you, Stuart. Buck really is a dear boy.
Sergeant Enright, please. Charlie, a man is leaving the building by the name of William McCord. I want a 24-hour tail put on him.
Stuart, I'm ashamed of you.
I'm sorry to be underhanded, Mother.
I don't mean that. You're tailing the wrong man. Preston Halsey is at the bottom of everything. If you won't do something about him, I will.
Mother, I've got a murder and 2 attempted murders on my hands. I am not going to waste one more minute of my time or the department's time watching you make a fool of yourself. Now, go home and behave yourself, or I shall buy you a one-way ticket to Little Rock, Arkansas, where you can spend the next month visiting Cousin Bertha and her 7 children.
Oh, dear. I don't have much choice, do I?
No.
you write something you didn't like?
Oh, no. I haven't even read the paper this morning.
Well, that's not going to make it any easier. I know I'm going to be sorry I asked this, but what are you doing?
Making up a dummy package, of course. They do it on all the detective shows.
Oh, somebody get kidnapped or something?
No, no.
Oh, I see. Just a simple case of extortion or blackmail?
Well, that's just silly.
Yes, I thought it would be, but I couldn't resist the temptation to say it.
Uh-huh. Here we are. Wish me luck.
Luck.
Mildred, who was that?
I think it was an FBI agent disguised as your mother-in-law.
What?
We've got a tail on McCord, sir. Oh, Commissioner, it's lunchtime. There's nobody in the outer office. Sir, did I tell you that I have been honored? They've asked me to speak again at the Academy.
That's something new.
Yeah, I thought so, too. Well, it's lunchtime, sir. Are you hungry?
Huh? What?
It's lunchtime. Let's go eat.
Oh, no, later. Come on, let's go down to research. I want to check something out.
Mac doesn't answer, Mildred. I'm really worried about her.
Oh, don't worry. Your mother-in-law can take care of herself.
Why would she take a dummy package full of newspaper to Preston Halsey?
How do you know that's where she went?
Well, she left the phone book open to this page, and there's his name. Who else would she be going to see? I'm gonna go after her, Mildred. You keep trying Mac. Tell him where I went.
Hello. Anyone here? Hello. Hello.
What do you want?
Oh, dear me, you frightened me to death.
What are you doing here?
Well, I'm here, as they say, to do a little business, Mr. Halsey.
Well, I'm afraid you're a little bit late.
I know what you've been up to.
Don't lecture me, Mrs. McMillan. The corporate world is a snake pit, as you're discovering. Men like myself survive any way we can.
Including murder?
Murder?
Oh, don't treat me like a foolish old lady, Mr. Halsey. I've brought it with me. And I'm prepared to sell it, if the price is right.
Sell what?
Why, the formula, of course.
What formula, Mrs. McMillan?
Look, Charlie, at the bottom of this page. 6 acres of alfalfa at Hagg's Farm. A piece of property they just bought on Delavan Road. No, I don't see any 6 acres listed. And I never heard of Delavan Road.
We have some old maps in the rear, Commissioner, that date back to the turn of the century.
I'd like to see one.
You know, sir, maybe they just sold that piece of property.
And maybe they didn't. Look at this date. January 1906, year of the earthquake. Question. Suppose Kennebec Alfalfa owned a piece of property they lost the records on. If so, where is the property?
What about that used car lot?
No, it isn't worth near what's been going on. Add it up. Property plus a dead zoning commissioner. Since he's in the middle of it all, title searches, grants, deeds, maybe he stumbled onto something about Harvest Foods in Kennebec.
Here you are, Commissioner. This map is dated 1902.
Let's see if we can find Delavan Road, particularly Hagg's Farm.
According to this, sir, it's southwest of the bay.
Here we are. Delavan Road. And Hagg's Farm. What is it, sir?
Well, I don't know.
Mrs. McMillan, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the secret formula, of course, for turning alfalfa into cornflakes or something like that.
Well, may I see it?
Certainly not. Not yet. Not until you're honest with me, Mr. Halsey.
My dear lady, I cannot possibly comment intelligently on your formula unless I look at it.
I know you killed that Mr. Winfield, and you tried to kill Andy. And there's no sense denying it.
You're really incredible, Mrs. McMillan.
Flattery does not impress me, sir.
Commissioner, are you sure that this is Delavan Road?
Exactly. Look, the old road runs along there.
Right, and it intersects 13th Street right here.
Yeah. Well, this should be it.
Commissioner?
Hmm? Uh-huh. No wonder Harvest Foods is trying to buy that alfalfa corporation.
All right, Mrs. McMillan, all right. What's the difference? Everything's coming apart anyway. That new tower building? That was my idea. Tom Ewing, put that in my hands. I mean, total charge. I knew it was a make-or-break situation career-wise, see? And for a while, things moved along, I mean, just perfectly. Then one day, when the building was nearing completion, Edgar Winfield came to me. He discovered a 70-year-old title flaw. It seems that the Kennebec Alfalfa Corporation still owned the property on which I was building a $15 million office building.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear, indeed. Winfield wanted money to be quiet. A lot of money. $10,000 at first, so I paid it. But that wasn't the end of it. He wanted another 10. Then he wanted 20.
Well, why didn't you just go to this Mr. Ewing and tell him?
My dear lady, I had selected that site, see? Kennebec had us over a barrel. I mean, if the truth ever came out, why, we'd be tied up in court for years, and I'd be out in the street, and nobody's gonna hire me.
So you killed Mr. Winfield rather than pay blackmail.
No. I was trying to buy the company, yes. I would have paid $500 a share, $1,000, anything to acquire Kennebec, right? But murder, no. I swear to you, I know nothing about what happened to Mr. Winfield or to your friend.
Mr. Halsey,
Why, Sally.
I caught her snooping outside your window, sir.
Sally, isn't it wonderful? Mr. Halsey isn't a murderer, just a crook.
No, just a businessman, Mrs. McMillan. Anyway, I'm going to go see the commissioner, and I'm going to tell him everything I know. I've already written out my resignation from Harvest Foods. Just doesn't make any difference anymore.
It's all right. I can't let you do that.
Carlisle, what is this?
Just a slight change in plans, sir. Over there, ladies.
All right.
Don't do anything foolish.
Who is this man?
Well, I thought that he was my loyal assistant.
You never can tell, Mr. Halsey. Speaking as one businessman to another.
Carlisle, don't ruin your career.
What career? Like yours? 20 years of trying to climb a greased pole for what? Ulcers and a bad liver? A lot of money you're too old to enjoy? Not for me, thanks.
What is he talking about?
Well, I'm not sure, Beatrice, but I think it's trouble.
Right, ladies. About $850,000 worth, and all tax-free. A sort of inheritance from Mr. Edgar Winfield.
You see, once this bushy-tailed commissioner puts things together, he's liable to figure out I killed Winfield and tried to kill Kennesaw. Unfortunately, I can't leave any of you around to talk about it. Now sit down over there and write what I tell you. Sit down. To whom it may concern, I can't live with myself any longer. Yeah, hello. It's me. There's been a little foul-up. No, nothing we can't handle. I'll see you at the lodge in 45 minutes. I killed Edgar Winfield. Write it.
Oh?
Mr. Ewing?
Commissioner McMillan.
Commissioner, yes.
I'm sorry to bother you at home, sir, but I've just learned that your new tower is built on property you don't even own.
What?
Was Preston Halsey in charge of that project?
Why, yes, he was, but, Commissioner, are you sure?
Afraid so.
I'll call Preston.
No, don't do that. I wouldn't like to scare him off. Where does he live?
Where's your car?
My car? Oh, my car wouldn't work. My car is just a little bit smaller than that.
Yeah, well, let's try it. Come on.
Well, if you want to try and squeeze in it.
You drive.
Oh, no.
What?
Oh, no. I don't get in the car if she drives.
Oh, please, Mrs. McMillan.
You've never seen my daughter-in-law drive. Shoot if you must, this old gray head. Die blonde. But I don't get in the car with Sally behind the wheel.
All right, lady. Then you drive. Maybe it'll look better anyway. Drive nice and easy. Straight north on Route 123 till you get to Canyon Road. Then take a left to the lake. Last cabin on the left-hand side. You got it?
Certainly.
How fast you going?
Not fast enough, Mr. Carlyle.
Well, slow down.
Why? This is getting to be fun.
Look, lady, I don't care how good a driver you are.
Oh, but she's a terrible driver.
I said slow down.
Oh, you wouldn't dare shoot me at this speed, so why don't you just put that thing down and enjoy the ride?
Lady, you're doing 70.
Damn, what?
Central, this is Commissioner McMillan. I want an APB out on Preston Halsey. Age, early 40s, 5'10", around 160 pounds.
Slow down or I shoot her.
Oh, Sally, Don't you worry a bit.
Watch the road.
I'm an excellent judge of human nature, and this man has no intention of shooting you.
Beatrice, he's a murderer.
Oh, that was just poison. Not the same thing at all. Oh, is that lovely? We have an escort.
This is car 45 heading north on Route 123. I've got a late model station wagon. California plate 376 Queen King George. Please run trace.
Really, Mrs. McMillan, I'm getting a little car sick.
Trying to think about apples. That always helps.
Watch the road, please. And slow down. I'm warning you.
Don't warn me, young man. I'm perfectly capable of handling an automobile at high speed.
Commissioner, this is Central. We have a report from the California Highway Patrol on a station wagon. License 376, Queen King George, registered to you.
Yes?
It's heading north on Route 123. 4 people in the car. Driver appears to be a little old lady.
Uh-oh.
She has been repeatedly signaled to stop, but has made no move to comply. Highway Patrol wanted to check with you first.
All right, follow, but do not apprehend. I'll keep in touch.
What's it?
My mother. Central, this is Commissioner McMillan. I want a chopper at the Stinson Beach turnoff in 10 minutes. Ridden in a helicopter?
Actually, sir, I'm more of a balloon man. I mean, I'm full of hot air, but I can rise to the occasion.
Oh, good.
Oh, look. I don't care anymore. Just stop the car. Look, I'm not gonna fight off the whole lousy highway patrol.
Oh, yes. And while we're capturing you, what about your accomplice who's waiting at the lodge up on Canyon Road? Oh, no. As my son would say, we're gonna bag you both. Isn't it terrible? All these Sunday drivers on the road. That seems to be Canyon Road.
It only took us 25 minutes.
You did say the last lodge on the left.
Will you slow down? Please, you tell her to stop.
Oh, I can't. She's very touchy about her driving.
Oh, relax, everybody. Now I'm only doing 65.
Stay back. Stay back.
right? Mother, you all right?
Well, of course I'm not all right. I've just been in an automobile accident.
For he's a jolly good fellow that nobody can deny.
Listen, try not to fall into this, will you? It took me all day to bake it.
Sorry, Andy, we couldn't find any candles.
Well, thanks, all of you. You've made an old man feel that he still has a lot of friends left in this world.
Oh, good afternoon, Mildred.
Hi, Sergeant. You're just in time for some cake, but you can't bring that in.
Oh, yes, he can.
The rug doesn't need any topsoil.
Right over here, Charlie. Yes. We'll clean it up later.
Oh, that was a royal we if ever seen.
My word.
Is that real, Mag?
It certainly is.
Almost $1 million.
Stuart, the least you can do is explain.
Well, I'll try, Mother.
Sally, have you ever seen this much money in your life?
Yeah.
Touch it. Come on.
No.
Touch it.
First of all, Edgar Winfield had been taking bribes for the last couple of years. We knew what the charges were, but nobody wanted to talk. Edgar was smart enough not to show the money, so he resorted to a very old and practical device.
I know. He buried it in his backyard.
No, Mother, he put it in several safety deposit boxes. Now, enter Eliza, who married Edgar for his money. She decided she wanted out of the marriage, but she found out about the bribes. Dilemma. If she divorces him, Edgar keeps the money. If she reports him, Edgar goes to jail and the money's returned. So where does that leave poor little Eliza?
Penniless and husbandless.
Right. Now, enter one George Carlyle, Halsey's assistant. And it's love at first sight. Well, if not love, it's mutual greed. They quickly decide to eliminate Edgar. They would have done it weeks ago, except that Edgar found out about the new building, plus the fact that Harvest didn't really own it.
Then a new problem crops up.
Me?
Right. You stirred up a hornet's nest, Andy. Halsey was trying to buy up your company, and Edgar was blackmailing Halsey, and so you decided to report the two of them to the DA's office.
Well, I thought they were trying to steal my formula.
They were trying to buy you out, but Carlyle knew that wouldn't work, so he tried to poison you. Now, with you in the hospital, you're out of the way. That's when Mother Dear decided to enter the fight.
And weren't we all wonderful?
Eliza and Carlyle knew they had to eliminate Edgar before he was exposed and the money confiscated. So that morning, Edgar goes to the golf course. Eliza takes the money, buries it in the backyard. Carlyle goes to the golf course and poisons Edgar.
Well, that's all very interesting, Stuart. But I think it's time we celebrated our good fortune. As the collective owners of several thousand shares of Kenemac alfalfa stock, I think we should see these robber barons in the morning at the cereal company and stick it to them.
Yes, Mother. About that.
What do you mean?
I'm afraid I called Thomas Ewing about the land problem. He had the city tax assessor declare the land in default because of non-payment of taxes.
What? They can't do that.
Harvest Foods has just brought the property for the back taxes plus interest and penalties. And believe me, it wasn't cheap.
You mean I'm not a millionaire?
You're not even a thousandaire.
Well, the moral of this story is you can't fight City Hall.
Well, we still have our signs, don't we?
Now, Mother,
Mac, what if they go right out and raise the price of that cereal again?
we'll write a letter instead.
Sally, I'm afraid I think this time Stuart is right.
You're kidding.
Besides, we're leaving in the morning.
We're?
Andy and I are going on a 10-day cruise. A little sun.
A little fun.
And I will help you pack.
You're a dear.
টিকটক কুইন হইতে যা যা লাগে, মানে নাচ, গান, অভিনয় আর শাবনূর মৌসুমীকে হারায় দেওয়ার মতো এইসব যা কিছু সবই মালার আছে। অথচ আসল জিনিসটাই নাই, একটা ভালো স্মার্টফোন। আমি আমার জীবন দিয়ে ভালোবাসি মালাকে, মালা তার জীবন দিয়ে ভালোবাসে টিকটককে। অবশ্য টিকটককে মালার ভালো না বাইসাও উপায় নাই। টিকটক কুইন হইতে যা যা লাগে, মানে নাচ, গান, অভিনয় আর শাবনূর মৌসুমীকে হারায় দেওয়ার মতো এইসব যা কিছু সবই মালার আছে। অথচ আসল জিনিসটাই নাই, একটা ভালো স্মার্টফোন। ফলে আমাদের দুজনের একসাথে দেখা একটাই স্বপ্ন একইভাবে ভাঙা যায়। মাঝে মাঝে কাজের মধ্যে আনন্দ খুঁজে নিতে আমি হয়ে যাই বলিউডের সালমান খান কিংবা ঢালিউডের ডিপজল চৌধুরী। এই চুরি কইরা অন্যের জীবনযাপন করার সবচেয়ে মজার অভিজ্ঞতাটা হইল এক পুলিশের পোশাক পইরা চোর থেকে পুলিশ বনে যাওয়া যায় আর নিজেকে নিজে এই বইলা সান্ত্বনা দেওয়া যায়, বাবু সারা জীবন এই সূত্রটা না ভুলিস, মানুষ মাত্রই কখনো চোর কখনো বাসে পুলিশ। হ্যালো, ইন্সপেক্টর নাজিমুদ্দৌলা বলছি। মালা 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 শোনো শোনো শোনো, আমি ধরছি, বলো। আমার পকেটে 20 টাকাও নাই, অথচ আমি মালার জন্য মোবাইল পছন্দ করি, মোবাইল মার্কেট ঘুইরা ঘুইরা, যদিও জানি না মোবাইল কেনার টাকাটা কই থেকে আসবে। এইরকম দুঃখে কবিরা নীরব হয়ে যায় আর আমার হয় উল্টা। আমি মনে মনে বলি, হায় রে মালা, তোকে দেখলেই কমে যায় হৃদয়ের জ্বালা, অপেক্ষায় আছি তোমাকে করব এমন কাবু, প্রেমে পাগল হয়ে সারাদিন শুধু ডাকবা বাবু বাবু বাবু।
আব্বা আম্মা যদি তোর ছোটকালে জানতো তোর হাইটের লগে তোর গাদামির হাইটটা একটু বাড়বো, তাহলে নিজ দিয়ে এমনিতেই 6 ইঞ্চি কেটে দিত, তোর আর গাদামি বাড়তো। শুন, আব্বা আম্মা যা বলে তা কর, বিয়েটা কর আর আমার রাস্তাটা একটু ক্লিয়ারটা কর।
ও আমি তোমার পথের কাটা না, তোরা কেউ চাস না যে আমি পড়াশোনা করে এই নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াই।
তুই তো নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াস নাই, তুই তো আমার কাঁধের উপর ভর করে দাঁড়ায় আসছিস। এই আসো। এই কি তোরা সকালবেলা এরকম কাঁদতেছিস কেন? আব্বাও কাঁদতেছে, আম্মাও কাঁদতেছে। কিছু আম্মা কি সকালবেলা কি সিরিয়াল দেখা শুরু করছে? তাহলে কিছু চুরি হয়েছে বাসায়? কেউ মারা গেছে? কেউ কি মরার আগে হসপিটালে অ্যাডমিট হয়েছে? তাহলে কি হয়েছে? সবাই এরকম আয়োজন করে কাঁদতেছে কেন?
বাবা মা বলতেছে আমার নাকি পড়াশোনার দরকার নাই, ধান থাকলে নাকি ধানের মাঝে চিটাও থাকে, আমি নাকি চিটা।
হ্যাঁ তোর তো ঠিকই বলছে। আর তুই কখনো দেখছো আব্বা আম্মা পোলাবাড়ির সাথে মিথ্যা কথা বলে?
ভাই কি ওই কথা কইছে? কইছে আমার 1 মাসের মধ্যে বিয়ে করা লাগবে, বিয়ে করে 9 মাসের মধ্যে বাচ্চা পয়দা দেওয়া লাগবে।
মাত্র 9 মাস টাইম দিছে? তুই তো নির্ঘাত ফেল করবি। মানে তোর যে পড়াশোনার কন্ডিশন, তুই 9 মাসের সাথে তোর আরো মিনিমাম 4 মাস টাইম দেওয়া লাগবে, তারপর যদি 12। আকার দোকানদাররা অবশ্য নতুন যারা বিয়ে করে তাকে চেয়ার দিকে তাকায় থাকে 2 পয়সা ইনকামের জন্য। তোর দিয়ে সেটাও হবে না, তুই চিন্তা বাদ। হ্যাঁ বল।
তুইও
কি?
আমি আগে সন্দেহ করছিলাম তুই আমার মায়ের পেটের ভাই না। মায়ের পেটের ভাই হলে তুই এরকম করে কথা বলতে পারতি না। তোর আমার না কোনো মিল নাই, না আছে স্বভাবের মিল, না আছে চরিত্রের মিল, না আছে তোর এই যে চেহারার মিল, গায়ের কালারের মিল, কোনো কিছু মিল নাই। বাইকটা
শোন, আব্বা আম্মা যদি তোর ছোটকালে জানতো তোর হাইটের লগে তোর গাদামির হাইটটা একটু বাড়বো, তাহলে নিজ দিয়ে এমনিতেই 6 ইঞ্চি কেটে দিত, তোর আর গাদামি বাড়তো। শুন, আব্বা আম্মা যা বলে তা কর, বিয়েটা কর, আর আমার রাস্তাটা একটু ক্লিয়ারটা কর।
ও আমি তোমার পথের কাটা না, আমি তোমার জীবনের বাধা। তোরা কেউ আমার ভালো চাস না, তোরা কেউ চাস না যে আমি পড়াশোনা করে এই নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াই।
তুই তো নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াস নাই, তুই তো আমার কাঁধের উপর ভর করে দাঁড়ায় আসছিস। শোন, আমি তোর ছোট হিসেবে চাই তুই আব্বা আম্মার কথাটা শোন, তুই 1 মাসের মধ্যে বিয়েটা কর, আমি কবজি ডুবায়া তোর বিয়ার কাচ্চি খাবো, বুঝছস? এই আসো।
Mày xin nổ rồi xong rồi. Thần tài đến, thần tài đến. Rồi. Còn nhớ vậy. Ôi, đây, có đồ. Chúng ta xong rồi. Yes, broccoli. Oh, broccoli. Bây giờ, vừa nói xong của tân. What the hell is this shit? Không rồi. Họ nói, come back kìa. I'm here. 750 tỷ em. Em đi bớt sau xem nhìn thử số 500.000 tỷ gì. 5.000 tỷ ạ. Gấp 5 lần. Kia là yes. The city world. The city world broccoli. Từ cái lớp em bây giờ cũng có thằng ấy chắc là phải 7.0 nhưng nó vẫn đi học lại, anh hiểu. Thằng ấy giỏi với cái cặp vip về nghe quỷ về section 4. Nó nghe lần đầu tiên nghe nó nghe 9 câu gì. Mà kinh rồi. Không biết nó đâu, nó đi học lại, ý là học ở lớp A của tao, nó đi học lại để nó thi tiếp bây giờ ấy. Quỷ với cứt. Quỷ với cứt. Học kinh khủng như nó focus luôn rồi. Thắng mà, thua nào là không phải 9 lộ thắng thua đéo được trường tạo. Người chi nổ. Đó, đây vào OBS. Đâu nhờ vào setting vào. Nhìn đó. Cho cái webcam về góc góc dưới bên phải như mình nghe. Thế cái kéo cam như bình thường đấy. 6 lắp 7 lắp à, giờ mình cày đánh 7 lắp à, căng căng nhỉ. Yes sir, broccoli. Có thắng à? Viết vào. Viết vào. Phải buồn nha Nam ơi. Chồn bố và dám đánh Liên Minh. Chồn anh quay từ đời nhớ nào anh chưa đánh Liên Minh bao giờ, chưa quay đánh Liên Minh bao giờ, thằng anh quay luôn mà. Tao gửi nó chết cho tao ấy, hay là nó phải anh nó bảo được em nó đánh. Tao phải đánh Zone 3 rồi, tao đánh tử thần tao xin chết. Đấy, anh tử thần tao xin chết. Thôi xếp tiền thôi, anh này bắt tiêu tiền đầu rồi. Thôi cái gì ra tự đến nhá. Cảm ơn vì đã đến. Về điện thoại không phải là vấn đề đâu, vấn đề là game lọ đi toilet. Cái gì đây Sone, cầm cái gì kia cần đấy. Ô kìa, ô Salia, thằng này đánh đéo gì đấy, sao lấy nhỉ? Sẽ lấy cái đéo gì rồi? Sẽ lấy một cái kiếm. Ui rồi, đéo có kiếm rồi. Thế lấy một cái gì đây? Ôi đéo còn gì mà. Thôi lấy cái này để lắp cho vào quần ấy, cái này lắp cho ăn. What the hell, thằng này lấy chỉ vì lấy cái mảnh gì vậy? Đúng rồi. Đúng rồi. Nhưng mà vẫn chỉ là vẫn chơi cùng mình. Không ghét với nhau. Không à. Bảo bạn chấm đi không như thế thì đã được yên vay hiếu như bình thường rồi, như những người bạn đã được bắt tay rồi. Được lên lúc kia bình. Không, nếu mà như thế nếu mà không có gì như thế cứ chả bị tay rồi. Có tha không? Sojin hình như kêu ấy. Có giờ mày mới về xong. $300 tuổi. Giá ETH tăng 3 chấm à? Không bao giờ. Đồng đuốc lên muộn. Đồng đuốc 0,9 lên chúng không biết quay tăng rồi. Gì? Lên 56 rồi. Hôm qua 55. Thôi may ông bố anh chuyển tiền là anh chuyển vào trong máy ấy. Yes. Phải master chứ. Rồi học chiêu ấy. Đấu qua tờ cũng master chung. HTS4. Quá chứ sao không? Biết nói chung là học đâu không? Phải xem Killer Queen. Rất nhiều thứ ngôn ngữ. Sửa nhiều hơn chưa đấy. Quỷ đấy. Thật ra chuẩn đấy, cái khổng lồ cho Red này, một nhéo nữa, đĩa xét nữa, thì xét 10 chỉ là một quân đợi là đây, đây. Kinh vậy sao? Con này 2 này. Put. Tắm hưu à? Từ từ anh phải stop lại để anh ra ứng chứng tiếp ấy. Anh cần một số một con đen đen ấy hoặc là 2 con em bị thích. Mày kẹp cái gì vậy ở trong cái game space này? Nè auto có về blue vui ơi. Rồi hai bên này đi. Con Alun đồ bây giờ Alun lên những đồ gì à anh em? Alun lên những đồ gì à? Chưa được 1 tiếng à? Rồi stop 1 tiếng thì sao thể nó bị. Ngày hôm nay của anh là mấy tiếng rồi? Sẽ có là 110 này, 1 tiếng này, 2 tiếng, 3 tiếng bây giờ đang là rưỡi, anh đang có 4 tiếng rưỡi rồi. Chết đấy. Anh cần một chút ấy đấy. Thắng mà. Rồi đợi anh một tí. Ok broccoli có phải quay chứ. Ok em ơi, nó mẫn khủng lồ nhờ. Đây đi na đéo ở đây nên giảm hưu nhỉ. Nó tròn lửa sư binh không? Yes sir. Đâu? Giờ là thằng em Nam à? Nam béo. Trôn đâu? Mày trôn à? Gì ấy à? Không. Mày bảo tuấn ấy. Anh cần quay ra con nữa lên một xịt xoáy. Legendary cũng được. Comeback cực mạnh được. Quay chứng comeback cực mạnh. Ui, khỏe thế. Không rồi. Mày khỏe quá rồi nữa. Sao anh hưu được. Anh handle được chắc thì. Không. Rồi, CV kia sao đánh? CV kia sao đánh? Đấy ơi. Được rồi, thua. Có sao thôi chết lại vẫn còn 1, 2, 3 round. Bởi mặc ảnh á, không biết mấy nói chung đánh cái vào mình đánh thì phía như lợn nhưng chỉ đánh khỏe, anh đâu biết đánh được gì. Đâu có cái gì đặc biệt đâu. Chúng đánh. Gạt. Thì anh vẫn hay quay ở góc. Đấy mà. Skibidi à? Phải không? Không cho là xa. Phải giống một chung toàn cảnh à? Quỷ à? Mấy cái tai nghe ấy, không á là anh ác quỷ rồi, 2,9 độ ác quỷ rồi. Anh đây anh hóa 5 xoay hết rồi, xe đất. Được cái Vũ ơi. đỡ phải chia. Nếu mà Cường mang máy đi. Cường ơ Cường ơi. Tắt cái tiếng tắt tiếng Discord này được à? Mình nghe nhạc có ai biết đâu. Anh quay tỷ trứng, anh quay tỷ trứng. Có đồi đây. Ai da. Giờ cầm một con Soroka đấy. 0.5. Ui. Ngon đấy. Kiếm đi. Rồi kiếm con hết rồi.